This episode of Limit Break Radio is made possible by our generous Patreon donors, including Evil Hippie of Sargatanis, Taliesin Truestrike of Fairy, and Laro Felix of Sargatanis. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. And by Succubus Journals. Succubus Journals features the life of succubi who sparkle when exposed to...
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important news bulletin.
War. What is it good for? Hello, everyone. Kibad Chaka here for the Gridania's top news source, The Raven. Our breaking news story has the Eorzean Alliance declaring outright war upon the Garlean invasion. After an audience with currently unnamed party, rumors have been flying about a possible raid on the local Garlean outpost known as Balsar's Wall, which has separated the Black Shroud and Girabania for years. We asked local elemental enthusiast Dick Kickham Wall Watcham on his views of the impending conflict.
Look, all them illegals gonna come crawling out after that there wall comes down. You knows it, I knows it, everybody knows it.
More on this story as it develops. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Live from Eorzea. Limit Break. With your hosts, Aniero.
Now behold the horror you have wrought.
Kahlo.
I said don't take your clothes off.
Juxtaposition.
I don't get it.
Ascalia.
Holy shit, totally forgot about him.
And Nika.
Oh my god.
LimitBreakRadio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio, episode number 96. Dude, just 4 episodes away.
Man, next month's gonna be insane.
From number 100. Guys, welcome to the show. LimitBreakRadio.com is the website. Twitch.tv/LimitBreakRadio. For those of you who are joining us live, shout out to you if you're joining us live. Thank you to, let's see how many people we got with us. All 160 of you joining us here right at the top of the show. Thank you guys so much for spending your Sundays with Limit Break Radio. If you want to join us live for the show, you can do that. Twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. Set aside some time on Sunday to join us. But we got a pretty big announcement here, guys.
Yeah.
It's my penis.
Are your drops still not working?
No, they're not working.
Aw.
So you're just gonna spout them off manually the whole show?
So, yeah, oh, good. Oh, good.
Great.
This will be a fun episode.
Yeah, we'll get treated
Those
to
are the
this.
best drops.
At least now you know when you mute him, that's it. He's muted.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's nice to have you guys back in the studio. Finally, a full cast
really
today.
nice, though?
It is.
Really?
It is.
It is, and guess what? I'm gonna be here forever from now on.
God.
That may not be a good thing.
That's an excitement hit too.
At first, I wasn't sure what he was doing.
I get it. Yeah. So, yeah, full cast today. Of course, we're joined by Kahlo Landis, Juxtaposition,
Yeah.
Scalia Rayamasa, and Nika Kayanian. We've got Kooky Persona, who's hanging out over Skype, and she's ready to take your calls. Again, you can call the show if you're joining us live. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. What was that? What's the weird... Are you
moaning?
It just hit me, guys.
What?
Pops isn't here.
Pops is not here.
Like actually
I got my
being
pop
here
right here.
and like looking at his empty corner that now has a... Is that a painting of Fritz?
It is a painting of Fritz.
Oh, yeah, you missed
With
that.
a bow tie, he looks so handsome.
I know. He is. He's a dapper little man.
Wait,
anyway.
what was I talking about?
Talking about missing Pops.
Oh, yeah. Who's going to refill my drink?
I don't know.
The Fritz poster.
Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for joining us live here on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. We are, of course, live in Eorzea. You can join us on the Sargatanis server, and we hope that you will. That's the Goblet 5th Ward, plot number 30. Couldn't remember. It's been so long.
I always
Yeah,
have
a
to
whole
read
week.
it.
I know, right? So anyway, if you'd like to join us and hang out and dance on the dick tables that we have.
Whoa.
Which, by the way,
is slanderous.
Hang on.
Thank you very much.
Hang on. I have to call you out, Juxta, because I recently saw a screenshot of a dick table that seriously was way better than yours.
Yeah, it was top tier.
But
Okay, so do I call you out when I find a podcast that's better than this failing one?
Good luck.
How often does that happen?
All the time.
Really?
There's this one called Aether. Well, there's also a pet.
What is the? There's some new ones too.
Like
Is
4 new
there?
ones recently, right?
Yeah,
Is that time of the year again where all the new
Savage
shows come
mode.
out?
Yeah, well,
me this.
we're on the cusp of a new expansion, so of course there's going to be a whole bunch of new shows.
A whole bunch of new podcasts when there's nothing to talk about.
But there's excitement and hype.
I mean, I guess you can speculate for 5 months.
I did update the studio, by the way.
With a better dick stage?
No, stage.
Yeah,
it's
you know
not
what?
a dick stage. It's not a dick stage.
Come
It's
on,
stage
guys.
D.
Give him credit where credit is due. I have seen no other dick table with the cum splash.
Thank you.
I'm just
I
saying.
mean, it's not a dick table.
I'm just saying, like, now that we've presented him with a better version of the dick table, now he's like backing off of it and claiming no credit. Before he was very proud of the fact that it was a stage D. Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
the dick
I am
table.
proud of it. No, not dick table. I don't know where you're coming from that. But
I get it.
have you? I updated our desk area. We
Yeah.
got 2 pillars, some paintings, and a floating clock.
Oh, good.
Floating clock?
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, I like how it defies gravity.
I think it's just balanced there really, really well.
Which is it? Is it an anti-gravity clock, or is it just balanced very, very well?
It's actually a euphemism for defying you and your gravity, because you put pressure on me, Daddy.
Okay.
Wow, that was surprisingly deep.
Yeah, where does that come from?
I'm coming! Sorry, I had to find. I had to click on the
Can we
pages.
please get the drops back as soon as humanly
my
possible?
God.
That would be
I don't know. I'm kind of
enormously
enjoying
helpful.
this.
No.
Oh,
This is awful.
It's like extra cringeworthy now.
Yeah, it's not good.
Isn't that the point of... No.
Yeah, it's all
I thought that was
bad.
Jax's whole point for existing.
Anyway, thank you for joining us.
Didn't you say there was an announcement?
What?
Didn't you say there was an announcement?
There
and
is
then
an
Callow
announcement.
derailed you?
Yes, we've been derailed off
Why
of this
am
a
I
couple of
being
times.
blamed for the derail?
You
So-
derailed.
What the fuck, Kahlo?
So, quick announcement. We are going to be changing our broadcast schedule a little bit.
Whoa!
So for a long time, we've been doing the show Sundays at 1 p.m.
Yep.
And then immediately, like an hour following that, we'll switch over to our other channel, Final Encountercast, where we do our gaming talk show, Final Encountercast. Well, we have decided that we are going to include Final Encountercast on the Limit Break Radio Twitch stream. And so that is going to be starting at 1 p.m. here at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. And then an hour after that wraps up, starting at 4 p.m., we're going to be starting Limit Break Radio. So that we hope, we've been getting a lot of feedback that people love the show, but those that live on the West Coast really have to wake up early to be able to join us, and that sucks for a Sunday. And I totally get it. Like I totally understand that. So we're gonna try an experiment for a couple of weeks and see what happens doing Limit Break Radio starting at 4. So if you are a diehard LBR fan and you want to keep watching this show and you're not interested in Final Encountercast, join us here at 4.
Or if you are a diehard alcoholic and you have trouble waking up at 1 o'clock because of hangovers.
Yeah. Confirm or deny FEC is being moved on to LBR's Twitch stream because we got shut down for twerking.
Our legal
I don't know
department.
if we can release an official statement on that.
Yeah, our legal department cannot comment on that.
We have a legal department?
It's me.
It's him, unfortunately.
Oh, that is terrifying.
Confirm or deny we're moving the start time to 4 o'clock to better accommodate FS Asher, who will be replacing Callow immediately.
The fuck? No! Deny!
Well,
That is being denied. I'm denying that.
All in favor, say aye.
No,
Kahlo
it's
is
denied.
denying that.
Denied.
Just saying. Kahlo, making that very clear. Kahlo is denying.
Yes, it is denied. All opposed? Okay, good. Pass.
Maybe
Majority
you
vote.
Maybe you should have showed up to the fucking show more often.
I'm here now, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Gosh, better late than never.
Are you?
Really?
I don't feel like you're here ever anymore for me, Kahlo.
God, you know what? You know what? Fine. Use Ethis. Have 2 people on Skype so Negan can just talk over him all the time. See how that works out for you.
It'll be fun.
Well, we actually can't because he's part of the Dream Network now. So.
Oh, well,
There's
can leave
that.
for a better podcast.
You know what? I'm going to go join the Dream Network.
I guess that means
Maybe you should.
the dream is dead.
Don't laugh at that.
That was kind of funny.
It wasn't bad.
Pretty good.
He every once in a while he gets off a pretty decent one.
Do your job.
Oh my God.
Stop it, you.
Please, can we not quote drops the entire show? That would be awesome.
That's my job.
Anyway, so yeah, if you want to make sure that you remain live for Limit Break Radio, we're going to be starting here at 4 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. We hope that you guys will join us. And we want to thank you. We want to thank everyone who joins us at 1 when we do the show. It is a whole lot of fun. I know that, it's probably going to prevent some people from being able to listen, and they're going to be upset. I can already see some people who are already pissed off about it in the chat room. But
pissed off about it?
Someone was like, "Oh, what? 10 a.m.'s too early?" Whatever.
He's not pissed off at us. He's pissed off at the wussy West Coasters.
Take that, kooky.
Look, there's a lot of factors here. We also want to try to do what's best for Final Encountercast, because there are a whole lot more people who are broadcasting in the gaming talk show category after 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Sundays. So we have a whole lot more competition and a lot less of an ability to stand out when doing Final Encountercast later. So as a part of moving Final Encountercast back onto the Limit Break Radio Twitch stream, we thought that we might try to adjust the timing of it and see what kind of new audience opportunities that ends up presenting us. So we're going to give that a shot for a couple of weeks, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Come on, guys. We have to appear on camera for Final Encountercast. Let us do that one first.
I mean,
not after 3 hours in the sweaty hot room.
That's also another kind of big aspect to it, is that, if we do Final Encountercast first, then we're not so dog tired and sweaty and gross, when we come back and have to turn the cameras on. So
Speak for yourselves.
Well, you actually go shower and clean up, but the rest of us don't.
Anyway, so that's our big change that's going to be coming in starting next week, I think, right?
Yeah, next week. And just to reconfirm,
Did you guys not hear the donation?
No.
You just talked right over it.
That's because
we had no donation.
Yeah,
I didn't hear it.
Did not hear it.
Twitch alerts. What are you doing?
What is going on? Goddamn Twitch alerts.
Did somebody change the fucking voice again?
To nothing.
Not me.
Well, that wasn't me.
No, it
Don't
was
touch
actually funny. It said, "Do your job." Do your job.
Yes.
Hasio Sora donating $10 to me, Chuck.
Thank you, Hasio.
Yeah.
I was going to say something helpful, too.
No, you aren't.
I was going to say, just to reiterate.
Oh, good.
Both shows will be on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio.
Yes, that is correct.
Did you preemptively mute him?
I did. Well, no,
awesome.
no, Hasio had that as the hashtag, so he paid $10.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So
outstanding.
Wonderful.
Anyway, so thank you guys for joining us here on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. We want to remind you we are supported by your support over at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. You can go over there, donate $20 for the month of January, and you can get in on January's postcards from Eorzea.
Which, by the way, this one is actually my favorite so far. The January one is my favorite one so far.
Have you unveiled it yet?
No, we're sticking to the kooky thing, and we're gonna keep secret about it. So
Okay.
that way, if you're trying to get your favorite host and you don't go and become a Patreon, you risk missing your favorite host. We just released Juxtaposition, which features him shopping for a very exquisite looking piece of headgear for the perfect glamour.
Yeah.
Yep. So the next 3 is going to be me Aniero, and Nika. Not in that order, though.
Or it could be in that order.
Or it could be in that order.
So we've also made a change, a bit of an adjustment to the scope of the program. That, I wanted you to talk about.
So the way that we're going to do this is each edition, and an edition consists of a set of 5. So each edition, we are looking at having a different artist take a crack at it. That way, each edition sort of is a different sort of style of unique art to it.
Right.
Well, and someone in the chat just asked, are you guys looking for artists for future postcard runs?
We are.
We
so
sure
please contact me personally via my personal email, which is r_POLLOCK01@yahoo.com.
There you go. So, that's what's going on with the postcards from Eorzea. A $20 a month donation over at patreon.com/limitbreakradio gets you in and locked in, grandfathered in for all of those. If you stay at the $20 donation, you continue each month. You get a new postcard.
Interesting tidbit. There were 2 more people who got the postcard this year or this month than they did last month. So I think Escalia had 37 go out. We had 39 go out this time. But there were several new people and a few that had dropped off. So so it is encouraging more people.
All I hear is I have the rarest card.
Oh,
I've got the Black Lotus.
I heard that a whole bunch of people didn't like your card and they just ruined it for everybody. So.
No.
Yeah.
But then we wouldn't have had more people.
Yeah. How many of those got sent back with like return to sender? Do not want.
I don't know. But Escalia, there were like 5 people that dropped off after you.
Yeah.
I mean, well, they got the card they wanted and now they're gone.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Okay. I see.
I mean, that is possible.
Nika, stop it.
Thank you, Nika.
Stop.
Anyway,
I mean, it is.
So patreon.com/limitbreakradio is where that's done. We hope that you will go over there and pledge a little bit of support. We are currently below our $2,000 goal to be able to keep Final Encountercast monthly. Or weekly, rather. So make sure that, if you listen each and every single week to Limit Break Radio or Final Encountercast or both of them, then consider, even just $1 a month really helps out. And you get access to a whole bunch of bonus content, including the Checkpoint Radio demos, which I know I have... Oh man, I feel so bad. I've been meaning to post more of them. I literally have had zero free time at all this week. Which brings me to the next thing that I wanted to talk about. I kind of wanted to make a slight apology to YouTube, but not really. YouTube, you and I have been going back and forth as a community for a while, so I decided not to give you the most recent episode. Go fuck yourself. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Rude.
Episode 95 never really made it to YouTube because we
Do your job.
We had an issue mid-show where we had the stream drop off, and for whatever reason, we could not get part 1 and part 2 to edit together in YouTube's internal editor. So it's been a little bit of a process to be able to put those together and re-upload them to YouTube.
Do your job.
YouTube is really slow. I don't know if you guys know that or not.
It's extremely slow.
Especially when you're trying to upload a almost 3-hour-long show. So be patient with us. That is uploading kind of as we're speaking right now.
Yep.
Do your job.
Yes.
And seriously, I'm not only am I gonna mute you, I'm gonna punch you.
Literally anything would be better than what you're doing right now.
Seriously.
I would rather have Escalia use his German voice and read FanFics than hear you do this.
Yeah, I know all about swallowing.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, this is actively taking away time that we could be reading fan fictions right now. So,
don't do that.
Oh my!
Bullshit.
That's low.
Juxta's ruining the show. If we don't get
Okay.
if we don't get to fan fictions, it's because Juxta keeps derailing my points.
It has nothing to do with Aniero stating we're not reading any more fan fiction.
Has nothing to do with that. I never said that. Never said that. Anyway, so I do apologize to our YouTube community for not having episode 95 up on time. This week has been a little difficult for me. So be patient with us, guys. We will get it up. This episode should also be up. And one of the things that I did actually get to address this week is that we should see, and I know that I am like tempting fate just by saying it, but we should see less instances of Comcasting. I had a senior...
Hands up.
I know.
Okay.
I had a senior technician. I was very specific. I had a senior technician come out and like test the lines, and he gave me a boosted splitter and everything like that. So we should see a whole lot less disconnects.
Where do you steal the splitter from?
Probably next door.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, if you've been annoyed at that, like I have, every time that happens, I feel like I'm gonna smash my goddamn teacup all over the fucking console, but it should happen a whole lot less now. So it should expedite the process of getting episodes to YouTube. Another thing that also happened is that YouTube is now Skuro's responsibility. So
we'll never see it.
If shit's not getting done, now you know who to bother, okay? It's not us. We're not doing it. We have made sure that Skuro is taking this responsibility because it used to be Papa Woody's, and we thought like, oh, and this is intern work. Another intern can do it. Well.
Apparently it has to be spelled out specifically to him.
I'm telling you now. There you go.
There you go.
You've been informed.
Yeah, something that Pops did as he sat in his corner was he took notes about possible highlights. So Skuro, grab a pencil.
Notes.
The excuse that he gave, like, oh, I have to go re-listen to it, like,
because he's an idiot.
You sat there and commented live in the chat room the entire fucking time. And you've already listened to it.
And we know you weren't actually talking in the Twitch chat because we ban you from the Twitch chat anytime you say anything.
Yeah, because you never say anything constructive or helpful or even remotely on point, even. So,
man, I can see why he'd want to do work for us.
Yeah, I know.
Also, this week marks the return of the Green Room video in a new format.
Yes, that's something that went away for a couple of weeks, not only because after we would do 2 shows back-to-back, we would be exhausted and everyone would want to leave very quickly.
Voices are trashed.
Yeah, that too. But also, and this is a factor on FEC as well, is the lighting. Like, we have to deal with a lot. Yeah, we have to deal with a lot of natural lighting in this place. So to be able to help with that and not have to buy a ton of, lights and stuff like that, we, that's another one of the reasons that we're moving Final Encountercast early so that we can use more natural lights. So,
yes, so the Green Room video will now be taking place before the shows start, so you guys will get a look at us when we actually have some energy, we're not dead exhausted, and as we plan out bits.
Yeah. I have to apologize. Like, okay, so we've had 2 donations. I don't know why we're not hearing them.
Are they popping up
Try
on the OBS?
it. I don't know. I can hear them.
So they're popping up on the green alert box if you were to open that, but they're not popping up on the stream.
Yeah, they're not even being, like, the text isn't even being displayed for them on the stream right now. So that's definitely an issue with Streamlabs right there. So we're going to try to solve that and get that fixed. And Hasio and Robbie Bobby will get to your donations here in just a second. But first, let's check out what's going on in FF14 News.
This is a Limit Breaking News Update.
All right, this week in FF14 News, we've got blog post about the Garo event. If you want to go check that out, you can
go fuck yourself,
I guess. I mean, I get the have you guys?
I'm gung ho for Garo.
Stop it.
That's the name of the.
I know that's the name.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong. People say it's kind of like Power Ranger Sentai but darker.
Kinda.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah, like I'm totally unfamiliar with what this even is, but like, my question was going to be, what do you guys feel about the armor?
This
looks cool.
Sweet armored horse.
The few that I've seen in the art style of Garo, leagues and leagues and leagues above Yokai Watch. So
whoa.
it's
That's
definitely
things we can't take back
it's
now.
definitely a step in the right direction. I think that those mounts actually look pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited for this one.
So, I mean, like, do you see using any of these pieces for glamour? Because, like, that was the first thing I thought of. Like, I was like, damn, there's some pretty cool glamour possibilities that come out of this.
Yes, absolutely.
I wonder if they're dyeable.
Yes.
The
PvP ones are dyeable.
Are they?
If you get them from the gold saucer, they are not dyeable.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice job, Square Enix. There's some thought about the incentive there. I like that.
Starting to get their ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Chocobos in a row.
Horsebirds.
Fail.
Let's see. Also, eventually, we've found out this week that we will be receiving a FF15 crossover event.
Which is like,
Nika, how excited are you to cosplay Prompto in real life and in the game now?
That'd be fun. But no, I'm actually more disappointed in just like their enthusiasm during this interview. They're like, yeah, we will do it, but we want to put some thought into it, and now's not the right time. So when it is the right time, don't worry, it'll be cool.
well, how did this not happen for launch?
They've also said that they want to go all out for the FF15 crossover.
And they said that like the 13 one was at launch, so it made sense. But like they said that they want this to tie into the story better. Like it would be cool if the guys were already on their trip and then they got lost and ended up in Eorzea. So they wanted to be like, the game has been out for a while, and then
That sounds terribly stupid.
So that the players already have a sense of who the characters are, that kind of thing. So whatever.
They're driving in a car and suddenly they hit Eorzea. I picture like Back to the Future 3 when he goes back in time and there's just suddenly Indians in front of him.
I mean, they also said they want the FF14 like development team to have a sense of the characters and like how they talk and how they act so that they can actually truly represent them in the game. So
That seems like a lot of work because
eventually, guys.
I mean, like the one thing that I'll give FF15 is they did a lot of custom character animations for just like when you're running around.
Yeah.
And that seems like a lot to be adding to FF14 in any way, shape, or form. But, I mean, like, they can probably do it cleverly if, they have a pretty good sense of, who the characters are.
I mean, I feel like part of 15's draw is that they have so much character banter and so much relationship between the characters. And I feel like if they try to just do it on launch when they don't have a sense of the characters' relationships, it might come off a little blah.
But don't they work for the same company?
Don't you guys think that they should finish FF15 before they start FF14-15?
Different team.
But it's going to be a while before the DLC is completely done coming out, and I don't want to wait that long for a crossover event. I don't know. Eventually it's coming, guys. We just don't know when. So.
It's fine. It's just weird that
please look forward to it.
Yeah, please look forward to it rather than like, I don't know. Like, why not at launch? Or maybe with the first DLC.
That would be cool, because the first DLC is supposed to be soonish.
Isn't it already out?
I mean, the holiday pack DLC, like that was just like you have New Game Plus now.
Okay.
All I know is that I'm really looking forward to Juxta rocking Noctis's puffy vest and fuckboy hat.
Oh my god!
I don't know if we'll get the casual outfits. We probably get their default.
They are going all out, Nika. They better.
I was like, they only have two outfits. We should get
every
both.
outfit that's in the game.
Oh, I want the two that you start with at least.
I want Ignis's emote that he does when he discovers a new recipe.
Aha!
I've discovered a new recipe.
I'll help you test it out.
The best ones are like when he discovers a new recipe after you eat it at a diner. Like, you didn't discover that, you stole that.
Right, when you buy cup noodles, aha! I can make cup noodles now. Ignis, we can all make cup noodles.
You got this covered,
but
man.
not with behemoth meat, quite like Ignis.
Man, I don't know. It could be fine, but who cares? Who cares at the end of the day, right? I'm more excited for Garo, which is weird to say.
Can we just?
I can't say that is my state of mind, but
I'm waiting for the Final Fantasy VI crossover event.
Well, I mean, we're never going to get a Final Fantasy VI remake ever. You know that, right?
Yeah, we will.
No.
I'm still
it's coming before Final Fantasy VII.
No, it's never.
No, there's a 50-50 chance.
Come on. There's no way.
Come on.
There's no way.
There was a headline at some point that said they want to look into remaking.
Ooh.
During the FFXIV event, if there isn't a quest where you have to say that's IT to 38, individual NPCs to get a single new coal recipe, I'll be disappointed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jack.
Yeah, we got that one.
Yeah, I've been working on getting it back up. So, yeah.
Thank you, Daddy.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jack, for that donation. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see an FF6 remake. I think there's too much that they could potentially fuck up by doing
Apparently, our Eureka land is supposed to be their FF6, their idea of FF6. So that's the closest FF6 we're going to get in 14.
The what?
Eureka.
Didn't they say that the Eureka land was supposed to be like Sky, or was that supposed to be Diadem? I can't remember which one that was.
What?
Now.
What are you talking? I don't know what you're talking
There
about.
was one. Okay, when they revealed, I can't remember if it was when they revealed the new secret land, or if it was when they revealed Diadem. But they had said, "Think FF6."
It couldn't have been Diadem. I don't remember that at all.
I thought Eureka was part of FF3.
I don't know.
It is Nika talking, and she doesn't know anything.
It is. It was attached to the Crystal Tower from FF3.
Okay, then I feel like maybe it was the first FanFest where they first revealed Diadem. They're like, it's going to kind of be like FF6 goes. And we're like, no. I remember them saying something, and I feel like that's all we're ever going to get from FF6 in 14. That's what I was trying to get at.
Oh, Aniero was just saying that there's not going to be an FF6 remake ever, which is patently not true. They will remake all of them.
No, there's no way. I don't ever see it. If they were going to, I mean, okay, the only opportunity that they have to really do it and to put the proper promotion behind it is the 30-year anniversary that they've got coming up. That's it. That's it.
If FF7 is successful as a remake, they will remake all of them.
Okay, they remade FF4, and FF4 is basically FF6, but
that's what I'm saying.
Primitive.
But they did it on the PSP. That wasn't like a complete full-scale remake like the FF7 one is going to be.
They did it on the Nintendo DS.
Yeah, and it was full 3D. That's what I imagine for the eventual FF6 remake. It will happen.
If it was going to happen, it would have already happened, I think.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't think we'll see it.
I hope we see it, and I hope it's terrible.
I mean,
if they do remake it, the question is, will we get a crossover in 14?
What would they make it for? The Switch? Get the fuck out of here. No, it's not happening. All right, last piece of news that we have here is that we are saying farewell to Kamate, the community rep for Square Enix. Devin Cassidy is his name. We've spoken to Devin a couple of times. Very nice guy. He's done a lot of really great work for Square Enix. We've known him. I think we interviewed him as a part of the FF11 show. That was one of the couple of Square Enix interviews that we had gotten. So,
do you think like Yoshi found that interview and that's why Kamade has to leave?
No, he's on to his next job. So congratulations, Kamade. Devin, it's been awesome, getting to know you and meeting you at FanFest and stuff. So good luck in wherever you're going, man.
So there's an opening in the Square Enix community team now.
Could we ship Nika out there?
To Japan?
Sure.
You want me on the Square Enix community team?
Sure.
Yeah, because then you have to leave the show.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
rude.
Ouch, man.
Harsh.
I was gonna say I don't think you'd really want me on the Square Enix community team, but all right.
So, Nika, what can you tell us about the other guys at LBR? Ban them.
Yeah, you'll save yourself a whole lot of time if you just ban them now.
They'll rage for a few episodes and people will stop caring.
Fusion X piping up in the chat and informing me it was Youmacon that we spoke to Devin at. So,
really?
Yeah, it was the Youmacon panel that we did in 2009.
Hey, I was there for that.
Yes, you were.
What was Kamade doing in Youmacon?
No, we had a pre-recorded interview and we played it at Youmacon. So, anyway, congratulations to him, and hopefully wherever he's going is going to be a good move for him. But so yeah, I wasn't.
He's sticking around in FF14, so I mean, we'll see you around.
I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's it for FF14 news. But we also saw Gamer Escape had put up, speaking of Fusion X, shout out to Fusion X, Gamer Escape had just put up a interview with that Yoshida did with Game Watch that I thought had some pretty interesting responses. A different interview, I think, than the one that we already had talked about. because these are responses that I didn't recognize. So we'll go through and talk about that here in a few minutes. But we want to hear from you. We'll also be talking about the preliminary patch notes for 3.5 that just came out before the weekend. And we want to hear from you. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715. LimitBreakRadio.com/Discord is the number to call. Kooky Persona will help you connect with the show. But before we get into that, I do want to take a second and just get the couple of donations that we missed because Twitch Alerts was being weird. So this one from Robbie. Bobby?
Here's a little something to raise awareness for all those whiny West Coast fuckers who can't get their lazy asses up by 10 a.m. to listen to the best podcast in gaming. Hashtag East Coast is Master Coast.
Thanks.
Wow.
Dang.
Thanks.
That's my new mantra.
Thanks for that, Robbie Bobby. We appreciate the $10.
East Coast is Master Coast.
Even though we did, straight up read it, we'll just repeat this one as well from Hasio.
Do your job. Do your job. Do your job. Hashtag mute Juxta's mic.
And we'll mute Juxta's mic. Good. Yeah. No. Yep.
You only paid for one.
Sayo got a 2-for-1.
Yep.
That's completely unfair.
Too bad. There's, every once in a while we'll get donations that tell us to mute your mic where we don't. And there's sometimes where we do, and then you just don't talk.
Yeah, that's the point.
And no one notices that your mic is muted.
They got to get their money's worth,
That's
man.
That's right. So, you know what? They get a 2 for today. Anyway, so of course we want to hear from you. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. We'll try to get the subs and follows up on screen here in just a few minutes. Because apparently that's not working either. That's really cool.
It's all broken.
I know, right? Like it's
all bad.
The drops don't work. The drops don't work today. The stream's not working. I mean,
Failing Twitch stream.
I know, right?
What is this? We finally have our full cast back together, and everything else breaks.
Yeah, everything breaks.
There's only a maximum level of success that this show can have. So if you add to one, you take away from the other. Like, we can only do so much.
That's right. Yeah, the podcasting gods heard about Checkpoint Radio, and they were like, "We got to knock these guys down a peg." So anyway, let's talk about this Game Watch interview. Which, by the way, I'm sure that Kookie's providing plenty of links. It's over on GamerEscape.com. Check it out if you want to check out the entirety of the interview. We had Skuro going through and pulling out some of the best Q's and A's.
Hold on. I told him to do that, though.
Okay.
So had I not told him, this wouldn't have gotten done, so I'm taking credit for this. Because it was actually really well done, too.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job, although I tell you guys to do everything for this show, so in a roundabout way, using the same exact logic that you used to steal credit from Skuro.
Sure.
I get to claim credit for all of it.
Well, you see, but that negatively impacts us, so the logic no longer applies.
Yeah, because when you tell me to do something, I actually don't want to do it. So I usually don't.
We can use faulty logic to make Skuro mad, not us.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can apply it to you guys too. I mean,
but we don't care about it.
Yeah, but you guys need to fucking show up once in a while.
So what you're saying is, hold on. So what you're saying is that if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't get anything done.
No, I'm saying that if it wasn't for me, literally none of this would occur.
Okay, so you're saying that the only reason anything gets done is because at the start of the week you say, do it?
No, I mean, the entire reason that there's a show, that there's a Twitch stream, that there is a studio for which we do a show in, that it goes up on the website, that it gets distributed to YouTube. I mean, look what happens when you remove me from one chain in that process.
Except you haven't been doing anything since you got your job back.
Yeah, well, that's not true at all.
Well, I mean, you're not doing as much as you claim to be doing.
Who's editing the show? Who's putting it together and posting it on the website? Is that you?
I am.
Juxta does it.
Don't fucking lie. Don't fucking lie.
You do some work. I do some work.
Some work.
Nika does no work. Escalia contributes occasionally.
Hold on. That's not Nika's fault. She is a woman.
What?
But I I do some stuff sometimes.
Oh, she put up episode 95 on
Nika,
YouTube.
can you even bother to mount a defense in this argument? Like, that, you were like, I do some stuff sometimes. Like, you're not even trying to defend yourself now.
Are you even trying?
You're not.
Man, it's so hard to move in here with all this ego pushing me up against the wall.
Shut up.
There's no room.
What do you do?
Not much.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, I do more than you.
Sort of where I was
really
going.
does.
That's sort of where I was going with that.
Yeah, you suck.
I'll own up to it. I show up on
So,
Sundays.
so in summation,
At the
Nika
end of the
Niscalia
day,
does nothing.
At the end of the day, this is all my doing. This is I'm responsible for birthing this into existence. Both of these shows would not be on the air if it were not for me.
Daddy
I
has
think we
birthday?
all agree with that. I don't think any of us have ever argued that.
No, we don't agree with that. Just not for reasons that we can defend.
And yet I never get a thank you.
Thank you.
I slave
asshole.
over this hot editor all day to be able to make an amazing podcast, and never do I ever receive a lick of thanks from my fellow co-hosts.
Daddy, you sound a lot like mommy right now. Get back in the podcasting room and make me a sandwich.
It really, honest to God, can I just say it, like,
Make me a drop.
honest to God, it does sort of sometimes feel like that from the audience. Like, just get back into the fucking studio and make your fucking stuff that I enjoy. Oh my God, that's so funny. Anyway.
But seriously, I'm hungry. Go make a sandwich.
Aniero slaves over a hot editor all day. When are we going to get to meet her?
Wait, can I get a?
Oh yeah. I need drinks.
I need a refill on my drink.
I guess I legitimately will go get it.
Third coast is the best coast. That's where LBR is. Time for work. I'm out, bitches.
Which coast did he say?
The third coast.
Third coast?
coast?
We have a third coast.
What's the third coast?
Mexico?
The Great Lakes?
Michigan? Yeah, Lake Michigan?
What?
You know, that was only a $1 donation. And while we thank you for it, Volkai, no, we're East Coast. We're best coast. East Coast, best coast.
No, we're Midwest, you dumb shit.
I'm claiming East Coast.
I think that's what
I am East Coast, so by proxy, you guys can count as East Coast.
Third coast, that's, I'm pretty sure what that means.
Oh,
Okay, you know what?
Midwest?
East Coast is not best coast because Nika's part of it.
Oh.
No, I'm trying to help you guys. Gosh, if I'm part of this, y'all are part of this.
What if I'm land coast?
What?
What?
Do you know what a coast is?
Like when you just go around life like not trying to achieve anything?
He's not.
I can't.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all.
We call that the juxtacoast. All right, well, why don't we go through a little bit of this Game Watch interview?
Do we have to?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Skuro put the work in. Let's at least get some use out of it.
Whoa. You put the work in.
Yeah.
I put the majority of the work in, yes. All right. So one of the things that we talked about on I think the last episode when it came to talking about the 3.5 trailer was, did they spoil anything for us? Because we assumed that what we saw in the trailer was parts of part 1 and part 2 of the story. So that was brought up. Is the main story divided into 2 parts this time around too? They said yes, it is divided into part 1 and 2. They said there are parts from part 2 that are shown in the trailer, but they did it in a way that there aren't many spoilers.
Interesting.
Something explodes.
So does that mean that there are some spoilers in it, though?
That's what it means, that there are some spoilers, just maybe nothing
It's
important.
terrible.
That's weird. Also, it's only 5 missions in part 1.
What?
It's only 5 missions.
How many are in part 2 then?
I don't know.
That seems super small.
Those better be really big missions.
Yeah, they got to be humongous.
Oh my gosh, you guys, they're going to be the most worthless quests ever because all the good stuff is going to be at the climax, which is part 5.5.
That's
2.
so disappointing.
Point 2.
Something else to look forward to. 2.5 had a lot of volume to it. We see the same cutscene warnings this time around. They were applied with, you can say that 2.55 was quite irregular. That's in quotation marks. This time, the overall volume of part 1 and 2 will be the same as 2.5, but single cutscenes won't be as long. So wait. So
there'll be
1 and 2
more
together are the same as 2.5?
Yeah, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
So we're getting less content overall.
Unless there's more story in 3.55.
That's right, Nika. East Coast represent. Also, hi, Nika. And hi to you too, Daddy. Wink.
You
Robbie
said hi
Bobby
to.
just said hi, Daddy, and winked at you.
We assume he meant
Hey!
you.
He's my daddy.
Gross.
Blah.
I don't share.
You don't share?
My daddy? No.
Oh, Jesus.
Would you?
I don't want to talk about this. I don't. No.
Anyway, so yeah.
Thank you, Daddy, for the pops.
You're welcome. I was out there kind of wondering to myself, like, when I walk back in, are they actually going to be talking about the interview?
We were.
Yes. Mostly.
We got distracted by the donation, but we were talking about the interview.
Because guess what? We can do shit without you.
I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
I still can't believe you really sent Aniero on the interns.
I can't believe he actually
job.
did it.
Yeah, that's what's amazing is that he actually did it.
That was really weird.
Because Pops isn't here and we all kind of have to pull together and...
Did you pee in their drinks? That's not a no. I want to point out I didn't get a drink.
I peed in his. I spit in his.
Oh, okay.
I jizzed in mine.
Aw, Daddy loves me. Daddy loves me. Just how I like it.
What? It's like spit.
It's not. I'm
like
not sure
dick
if you're
spit.
aware. Ew.
Yeah, what?
What? Why is it?
I want to see who in the chat room knows what that is a reference to. That's I'm pulling a reference.
And-
it's a deep reference.
And while we wait
you
for
know it.
that, let's get back to the interview. Someone was wondering why it was divided into two patches this time. Apparently, the last time they did that in 2.5 was because the volume was so huge. They said that this time they intentionally divided it into two parts, regardless of cliffhangers. Part 2 will come after 3.5 and 3.55. The third season of the feast will end with 3.55. We will add the continuation of the animal weapons, etc. And after that, part 2 of the patch. Well, wow, that was super confusing.
Wait, no. Okay, so it's going to be 3.5 part 1, 3.55, and 3.5 part 2 is after that?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And then
That's
after
weird.
that, they're going to have something else added?
Well, so 3.55 is going to be the Diadem adjustments.
Right.
Right, and the last season of the feast.
Right,
this patch, or
right.
this
And then there's going to be the second part, what I would see of the narrative that comes in the patch 3.5 part 2, because they did that with patch 2.5.
Why the fuck don't they call this like 3.58?
I don't know. That I don't
confusing.
know. That I don't know.
Okay.
So, super confusing.
Yeah.
All right.
And it sounds like less story overall. I'm not happy about this.
Oh, and they bring up Yugiri as well. We saw Yugiri in the trailer after a long while. Was kind of missing her. The scenario team and the event team used a whole entire day fighting over how Yugiri has to do a long time no see greeting. Laughs. How she is up front in the scenario after a long time and how she can't just show up all of a sudden. So, all right. Apparently they're going to try and address that.
I still think she's going to die. I still think she's going to
See,
die.
I don't think so, simply because they have had to hire a new voice actor since her old voice actor was killed.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really stupid to hire a new voice actor for one patch.
To kill her off based on the fact that they don't have a voice actor to do her.
But they do because they hire
Yes,
her.
but they do.
I do her.
They go on to say, what did she do up until now and why wasn't she in Ishgard? She mainly did work with the Doman immigrants and was helping out in Limsalo Minsa. She has a feeling of debt towards the...
Potato Coast for life, mother bitches. LBR is fucking hype today. My penis says hi. #LB Army.
Thank you, Thor.
#LB Army.
Potato Coast. I like that.
That's a thing now.
For Ireland.
Uh-huh.
That makes sense. I get it.
I
So
get it.
she has a feeling of debt towards the three great nations, so it would be odd for her to be in Ishgard, which makes sense, I
That
guess.
makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, didn't Ishgard deny the Domans refuge?
They did, because they tried to go there first, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or something
I
like
think that would probably leave a pretty big chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Why would you run to help somebody that didn't help you out? So that makes sense.
Because she's a good person, Aniero.
It makes sense.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
We were also talking about what's going to happen after the Warring Triad finishes. Well, somebody else asked that as well. Yes, the Warring Triad will finish. What will happen to Regala? And who is Unu Kalhai?
Who? It's regular.
Regular, sorry. And who is Unu Kalhai? Well, we've
Oh, ukulele. Okay.
we've answered that. It's Vaughn
Oh, God.
from FF12.
What?
Oh, and that's why we're going to have to go to Evilise.
That's totally Vaughn.
I get it.
They say everything will be revealed. Also, the connection with Heidelin, the Mother Crystal, the Void, and the Parallel Worlds. I think this patch will give them a lot of good information.
So I
hopefully-
think that's implying that we're going to be getting a shit ton of
big
celestial
payoff.
lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a big payoff to the Warring Triad.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I'd love to see like something actually happen with Aziz La as a result, because that is the main the main energy source for the fact that it's hovering, like the fact that it's floating. So, yeah.
Where's it landing?
Right.
On who?
Yeah.
They're asking about if we will see familiar bosses and new lore. Of course, they say that Ferdinand and Diabolos will show up, and they made Ferdinand a trickster boss. They go on to say, I'll just say, watch out for the color of orbs he juggles. Mach and Amdapor used to be in war, and the shadow of Mach touches upon the lore quite a bit.
That's cool. I would love to see more expansion on the actual war that went on between them.
In the end, Diadem didn't turn out too great. Why? It's
because
a question.
It was shitty.
It's a question everybody is asking.
Nobody asked that. Everybody knows why it was shitty.
Okay, but I think why did it turn out shitty though?
Oh, I don't know.
We know why it was shitty, but why did it turn out that way? Why did they give us a shitty product? I can't say specifically what was wrong or that it was unplayable. Some wanted to grind, others wanted to speed through for rewards, and some wanted to gather. It's hard to unify players in that regards. We also didn't balance item level or pop times of monsters. So by the time we made adjustment, players had lost their interest. Also, dinosaur hunting all the time really didn't feel like an exploration.
Well, he says I can't really say what happened, but he seems to know what happened.
Right?
I gotta say, he's pretty on the nose. I don't know.
No, it doesn't matter. Diadem's done. It's dying. It's dead. It's out of here. But how will
until it comes back.
will the new Diadem ultimately look?
Yeah.
Flying is unlocked right from the start. This time you will receive telegrams from House Halinarte, which will give you objectives. For example, please investigate a point in the northeast area, or please bring me an X amount of something from this mob. You'll explore the islands, and after finishing the objectives, you will be returned to the base and receive scripts, tombstones, etc.
This seems like a much more interesting and engaging system.
Yeah,
this seems a lot more like a traditional MMO system, as opposed to like this sort of like hybrid old school new school that they tried to pull off with the original Diadem. So I'm actually really curious to see how this is going to end up feeling like it plays, because like you can hear the game mechanics sort of laid out anyway. People can describe things really, really well, and then just in execution, it sort of falls apart, or it doesn't hang together. And that's definitely a possibility. And I think that all of us as 14 players are going in a bit skeptical on this, but that does seem really interesting. Just like from just at a glance, that seems like an interesting way of organizing your content.
Well, and that's kind of the importance of it may be, hey, go get me X of Y, which is the like quintessential MMO quest, but that forces some exploration, whereas in old Diadem it was like, all right, what's the nearest enemy that I can farm appropriately? We're just going to go there forever.
In the quickest time, yeah. Well,
Exactly.
they actually go pretty in-depth. They say, so that's the guaranteed minimal reward. While doing objectives, you will see regional fates pop. By sidetracking, you can get bonus rewards or treasure. They asked if monsters will still drop treasure chests. Monster treasure chests, yes, but you will receive a new kind of item, which is exchanged for a lottery reward, like Palace of the Dead, which I think is always interesting.
Yeah.
If you want to finish with the Diadem quickly, you can exit it when you're done, or you can stay with the remaining players. And then they ask, well, what about gatherers? Nobody gives a shit about gatherers.
Is that what he said?
No.
Oh, man. Finally, he's saying what we're all thinking.
Gatherers and battle jobs will have a different entrance this time. Gatherers will make the parties that consist only of gatherers. You can also change into a battle class, finish the exploration, and return to gathering if you want to. They say, how many objectives will you need to do? 4. It won't take you 20 minutes.
That's fast. What? How long did it take on a regular Diadem back
I don't know.
in the day? 40 minutes-ish?
Man,
Well, I mean, how long? It depends how long you wanted to spend in there, but the time limit was over an hour. Like,
right.
Yeah, so I guess getting in there and like getting your objectives done will be relatively quickly, but then you still have time to explore. It says first you clear the objectives and then you go from one continent to another. It says you can re-enter and do the objectives again, or maybe 3 players have left and you do fates with the remaining 5.
Yeah, like I think the implication there in the 20 minutes is saying that it's going to take 20 minutes for you to bang out the 4 objectives before you get the remaining free time to go hunt loot. That's what I take away from that.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
they said if you finish with your objectives that you receive, you can play freely until the time limit of 60 minutes runs out.
Well, that actually does sound like Dynamis. You had to go in, hit your all your time extensions, kill the boss, and then you had the rest of the time to farm.
Right. So, I mean, it is keeping core concepts from the original Diadem, but I think this is sort of exactly what we were asking with, focus our attention into different places, focus our attention on specific tasks more so than these, kind of like arbitrary. There was no connection to what you were doing and like why you would be doing it. When you zoned into the original Diadem, you had a couple of like randomized objectives
that you'd only get 20 tomes for. That wasn't really worth the time spent.
But from an engagement standpoint, it was just an objective off of a checklist.
Yeah,
there was no reason. Like one of the objectives was to get a black crystal. Why?
What is one person could do?
What does that do? Why? If there was a reason to some of the things that you were doing in Diadem, or if it told even just like a minimal story in there,
right?
That is, I think, something that's important for player engagement.
Just something as simple as go get a black crystal and use it to blank.
Right.
That's all we need.
I mean, and that's the thing is that like back in FF11, they didn't justify, getting stuff and bringing it back, but it felt like you were doing something. Like, you know what I mean? Like ZNMs, there was not a big story connected to that, but it felt like there was a function behind everything that you were doing.
Imagine in Diadem getting the black crystal, you could then use it to weaken a monster.
That'd be cool.
There you go.
That'd be sweet.
I mean, something as simple as that, sort of like, okay, now there's a reason to be getting it. Yeah. I agree.
They ask about the boss fights, asking what they will look like, the ones from the trailer. They say, when the color of the sky of the area changes, you can enter the mysterious ruins. The boss fight is something new in FF14.
Ruins. You say it so interestingly. Ruins.
How many ruins have we had so far in F14?
I don't know.
You will need at least 4 parties to defeat it. People who played EverQuest might feel nostalgic.
So 32 players.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And they then go on to ask, well, what if you go in with less than 4 parties? Shouts will be heard in the entire area, so you can call for help, or maybe let the area know you started fighting and that people should gather up. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So, but 32 players, but can you not ally in here? Can you do alliances in this area? This is going to be awkward if you have one party sitting outside the alliance.
Well, it's probably one of those things where it's probably fate-like to where anybody who joins in is going to get the reward.
It's just tuned around 32 players?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Are there any requirements to enter the zone? There are no requirements. If you want to go in with 9 parties, you can. We want to make use of this feature in the upcoming Eureka as well.
That's really interesting.
Yes.
That was not something that I saw that I was expecting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we talked about Diadem the first time they did it as being a beta test for something else.
Oh, we did.
That's something that we mentioned then. Maybe that's another concept we're seeing. And they just seem like they're using things that worked in Palace of the Dead in New Diadem.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Oh, here we go. The jumping potion really divided the players.
I'm out.
Oh, did it?
Yoshida goes on to say, there are players that think that all the new players will buy jumping potions and get to level 60. Also, there is no crafting or gathering jumping potions, so it won't have any influence on the game economy. Even if players use the jumping potion, they won't be at the level cap. The price of the potion is also quite high, so not everyone will be able to buy it. We have data from the Korean and Chinese. We have data from the Korean and Chinese versions too. We will make a final decision by the end of January on whether we will implement the potion in 4.0 or at a later time.
This is...
Let's just keep delaying it, guys.
I know, but the longer they delay it, the more I think, all right, why isn't this a done thing? Why don't we already know about this? What are they...
I feel like they're just afraid to say it.
They're afraid to have it be the moment?
Yeah.
Well, good. They should be. If you are afraid to actually just say, yes, we're putting it in, then maybe you shouldn't put it in, Square Enix.
Maybe they're trying to wait until pre-orders for Stormblood have already passed before they announce it officially.
Ooh, that would
be the end of January.
That's dirty.
Oh no, but then it'll be great because then they can get an objective measurement of how many people are pissed by how many people cancel that pre-order.
Actually, the next question: does the development team want the potion implemented? Well, we are developing it regardless because we will need to upgrade the existing.
That's not an answer. That's not what was being asked. God damn it.
Because we will need to update the existing potion to a 4.0 version for the Korean and Chinese versions. The problem is whether or not to release it in the global version.
Yeah, he dodged that question so hard.
Come on, Yoshi.
But doesn't that answer say no? Doesn't that say no, they don't want to, and I can't say that?
Yeah, they're basically just saying, well, we have to develop it because the Korean and Chinese ones get it. So, yeah.
Just don't push it globally.
I think that there's probably something to that. I think that there's probably people on the development team that think it's a really dumb and bad idea.
Yeah.
Sabotage the jumping potion.
Do it.
Sabotage
build a
the jumping
into it
potion
that we can exploit.
No, better yet, if you use the jumping potion, it just deletes your game.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
No, because honestly, I've considered making it an alt and doing it.
You're gonna lose
Oh my god, Nika, you are so lucky that you live states away.
Nika.
You're gonna lose your alt. It's gonna get deleted.
Because that way you can jump and automatically to highest level to play with friends on
anyone from this show who is caught buying a jumping potion will immediately be fired.
Terminated.
Banned from the show.
Like you should not be able to buy a jumping potion until one of your characters has already completed the story and gotten to level 60. Then you can buy one for your
That's an interesting opinion, but it doesn't address the thing that I just said. I just said if anyone on this staff is caught buying a jumping potion, does not matter what server it's on.
Doesn't matter if you use it.
Does not, yeah.
If you buy it.
If that is a transaction, you are fired.
Dunzo.
Can I pre-order a jumping potion?
Nope.
Pre-order one.
Where do I talk to? Who can I give my money to?
They then went on to ask, are you giving out free potions to new players in the Chinese and Korean versions?
What?
No, but we did have a campaign where new players could buy the potions cheaper once, but that was limited time only. We had a lot of the discussion with the Chinese businesses, which have experience in the Chinese market, so it went quite well. In Korea, there was a lot of discussion about the player gap, but the implementation had without problems. I think it will be the same for the global version, but we will know the facts only if we do so.
Okay.
Bad idea.
Don't do the jumping potion.
Don't do
Bad
it.
idea. It's been a bad idea from word one.
They go on to address the idea of how do people learn to play if they jump immediately. They say, so it's good to play low-level content to learn how to play if you use the potion. People who buy the jumping potions are players who have high motivation to play. It's usually players who have experience with MMOs. New players usually get to level 30 or 40 before they buy the potion, and by that time, many of them are used to the gameplay. Many players also do research on rotations. If players don't really want the potion, we won't implement it with the release of 4.0. We don't want the potion!
Wait, hang on. There was something that he said here that I kind of want to rewind on, and people do research on rotations?
Yeah, no one does that.
No.
Don't you lie to me.
Don't.
All right.
But then again, I will say people who have high motivation to play, like endgame players, definitely do. But the actual casual player who's probably going to buy the potion, probably not.
But that's not the people that this is aimed at.
Exactly.
The jumping potion is intrinsically not aimed at those hardcore people, or else they would have already been playing this game.
Unless their old game decided, they got bored of their old game and decided, I'm going to pick up a new one.
Stop trying to justify your purchase of the jump potion, Nika.
I'm trying to give Yoshi the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not.
If players really don't want the potion, we won't implement it with release 4.0. Can we make this clear once and for all from LBR? We don't want this. Don't do it.
I think everyone should.
But do you see? He says if players don't want the potion, he doesn't say we won't implement it ever. He just says we won't implement it at 4.0.
Wow, Nika, you used to be my favorite LBR host for here, and you advocate any use for the jumping potion forces me to choose Escalia as my new favorite host.
What?
Well,
Hashtag kill the jumping potion.
Thank you, Robbie Bobby.
And even we here on the show just said a while back, like, it's more about the timing. 4.0 isn't the time yet. And we agreed that in 5.0, you can probably start justifying it.
Yeah.
Just 4.0 is not there yet.
I think that's an easier conversation to have around 5.0. But yeah, no, you're right. I think the timing of it is very, very poor if they decide to implement it for 4.0.
Yeah.
So
if it were to be implemented, it would be at the timing of 4.0's release. If it were to be implemented before the release, many people would think it's pay to win. WoW did that with Legion, but they can do that because they're used to jumping potions. That is not the case for FF14. It would destroy the game.
WoW did that because WoW is WoW. That's it. Like WoW, you can't. I think that you can look to WoW and Blizzard as like, okay, they definitely have a model for success, but trying to replicate that down to, every fabric of your game, every fiber of your game does not replicate that success. We've seen that time and again and time and again. It's really, the process has to be distilling down what players find rewarding and satisfying about the experience, and then taking that and finding a way to do your own version of that on your game. And so far, because FF14, I don't know if 2.0 came out after the label of like WoW clone had kind of like passed, and like everything that was kind of at its core a WoW clone, like we just stopped caring about it.
That was just what MMOs look
that's
like
just
now.
That's just what this new phase of MMOs is going to be. I don't think like I've never heard FF14 described even by detractors as a WoW clone. So I think FF14 has always done, except for 1.0, but FF14 has always really done quite well distilling down, okay, what about the experience is fun and rewarding, and being able to present their own version of that or their own take on that. And I've always been able to appreciate that. But letting WoW set your pace for major development decisions that you make, I think is you're chasing the wrong thing. You need to be paying attention to what your audience wants and responding to that, as opposed to trying to think ahead of your competition.
Especially in the case of jumping potions. WoW's story was never something that from expansion to expansion was nice and cohesive to where you would want to do each one before the other. You could jump into WoW right now and go straight into Legion, no big deal. But with the way that Final Fantasy XIV sets up the narrative to go from a Realm Reborn into Heaven's Ward, and now hopefully into Stormblood, by using a jumping potion and skipping all of that, you break up the one thing that I think is unique specifically to FF14 as an MMO,
and it's like strongest selling point too.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
That was
those are all good points.
Oh, damn it.
Except speaking from Square Enix's point of view, the jumping potion will cost money, and then I'll get more money.
You know what? I would rather have Aniero do the Sandorian bagpipes than listen to you speak.
Ouch.
I'm just saying from Square Enix's point of view, more money is a lot more than no money.
You know what? Why don't you go ahead and actually contribute to the show? That's it for Game Watch. But we have the Famitsu translation notes here. You actually got these notes. You gathered these notes up, right?
Sure.
Contribute to the show. Tell us about these notes.
Please do.
Okay. All right. Well, this is the Famitsu rough crib notes things. It says we're going to have a new relic steps. And
2 of them, actually.
2 of them.
Before the end of Stormblood.
3.5 will have item level 270, and it will be kind of hell.
Is that a direct quote from Yoshi? It's going to be kind of hell?
I guess.
Will you put these notes together, dingus?
Oh, I just found these notes somewhere else.
Oh, my God. I trusted you guys. I said we needed to do show prep, and I'm working every day this week.
Oh, but I thought if you say do show prep, it magically gets done. Escalia, you read these notes if Juxta can't.
I just read it, though.
I would say he can read it. It's fine.
And then 3.55 will have 275, and that will be easy and casual, just like back in 2.55.
The lights or whatever, the last light stage.
Right.
Yeah.
So So we're getting 2 more anima steps, 270 and 270, or 270 and 275. First one's going to be easy. Second one's going to be hard.
No,
opposite.
Or first one's going to be hard. Second one's going to be easy.
And they're also going to be nerfing the Aether Oil and Umbright steps.
Thank God, because that's where I'm at.
My wait around and do nothing strategy finally pays off again.
Thanks, Square Enix.
This is what's wrong with your incentive model, Square Enix. These 2 dickheads.
Yeah,
that's correct.
They get rewarded.
Yeah, I'm going to get my animal
for no
for doing
reason.
nothing.
For waiting.
Oop.
On LBR's perspective, # mute Juxta's mic.
Nice.
This is going to make the continuing to read the
patch notes a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Be loud.
All right, jump potions. Most feedback, people are worried about not knowing the rotations, but people who level through fates and the like don't know them anyway.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is, I mean,
I hope to God that's exactly what Yoshi said.
It is. I mean, that is kind of like honest. Like that actually says like, okay, they actually do pay attention to the shit that we do in the game. But at the same time, though, I still don't think it's an excuse to implement the jumping potion. It's still not a good enough reason.
And you know what? The actual level jump potion isn't the thing that bothers me the most. It's this next point right here.
Yeah.
This just destroys me as any type of gamer.
Right,
There's 2 MSQ potions, one to skip 2.55, and
you can talk. You're unmuted. You can talk into your microphone.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. One to skip 2.55, one to skip 3.55, and they won't be released at the same time.
Why would you buy a massively multiplayer online role-playing game and skip the story?
No matter how much you guys ramble, we still love y'all, so damn you for waiting. Get good, man. Even I finished the relic weapon.
Oh, you wasted your time.
Because I just want to play with my friends. That's all I want. I just want to play with my friends.
It's so terrible. It's so bad.
You could just
skipping the story allows them to get into the new expansion content. I think that's why they're offering that as a thing.
We know why. It's still just dumb.
It's stupid.
Yeah, not a fan.
I don't disagree.
So the new 24-man won't have gob dip until 3.55. That's
the weapon upgrade.
That's the
weapon upgrade.
That makes sense.
How that goes.
That makes sense.
I think that's how the last one was too. They put the accessories and armor one first, and then they added the weapon one later.
That's actually fine. I have no problem with that.
What's the upgrade up to? 270?
270 is the highest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Zervan will drop weapons.
They better not be stupid looking Square Enix.
They're gonna be stupid.
Get it
looking.
right this time.
Oh.
They can't do it.
I don't want to paddle. I don't want to shake weight. I don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need that either.
I was trying to think of something else stupid, but I couldn't. That's Square Enix's department.
Escalia blades.
Yeah.
It's just Escalia's face. Great.
I can't wait. This is going to be outstanding. After the German FanFest, the 24-man Proto Ultima trial will be dropping, and he drops accessories. So they're going to get a T-shirt challenge.
It's been a while.
That's what I hear.
Since we've seen accessories.
We did the 24-man Proto Ultima trial. I did it at FanFest, and there was no T-shirt. If they get a T-shirt, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
So
I actually cleared it and everything. You did not get.
They're just putting it into the game for everyone to be part of now.
Yeah, I mean, when we did it at FanFest, it was not terribly.
It was really easy.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! Terribly difficult. Well, so easy.
Yeah.
Whoa! So we're gonna be fighting Proto Ultima pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
next month, right?
It's sort of
Omega.
like
okay, right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because it's not. That's not. It's sort of analogous to the Odin fight, which is also, if you think about it,
Odin was challenging.
Well, no,
I don't know if anybody lost Proto Ultima at FanFest. People lost Odin at FanFest.
I'm not saying in terms of challenge. I'm just saying in terms of the way that they're,
content driven.
Yeah, using the assets. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Where they take it around to FanFest and then they give it to us right at the end.
Except it's dropping accessories. What the fuck?
We haven't
shit about accessories.
Yeah, we haven't seen that since.
Give us fucking glamour,
Ramu?
man.
Shiva had accessories.
Did she?
Shiva had accessories and weapons. Yeah,
she had accessories and weapons. But I think it's been since then, right?
Moggle he dropped accessories only.
That was before Shiva.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out what the last one was. That was just accessories. I always thought just accessories
was Odin
lame.
just accessories.
No, the original
Ramu was
Ultima.
both also.
The original Ultima Extreme was just accessories.
Yep.
They never had a weapon.
The 3 EX Primals only had accessories.
Did they?
They did.
Oh yeah, you're right, because their
the
normal
extreme mode
modes.
primals,
Yep.
Bird Mount drops up to Sophia will be nerfed. Well, probably increased. So great. 4.0 will be the end of the current style of relics. Expect acquiring them to be much different.
Oh, finally.
That's Eureka.
Thank you. That's Eureka. It's so Eureka.
The biggest thing about that for me is finally getting rid of Geralt.
Oh, honey.
Geralt is the best. Are
Geralt,
you kidding? He's a drunk magical man.
Wait, no.
Creates magical things.
This is the last time I can just wait till the end of the expansion? I'm actually have to do stuff next expansion of My Anima?
I hope so.
I hope, again, I've laid out exactly what I think would make for a great relic structure, which is to have the ability to take it beyond the quote unquote, what's thought of as the highest eye level currently in the game. And that as you go on, like, you have the ability, if you want to grind enough for it, you can take and max out your weapon straight away. But
people will totally do that.
But the poop socking would be extreme.
Aniero, I have a better idea.
You will kill people. You will kill Japanese children.
What we need to do, right? If they're not going to incentivize us, who's already staying current, to stay current, we need to punish the people who don't stay current. Instead of nerfing it as you go on, make the next step harder if you wait, or the previous step harder if you wait. So, like, if they were to do this now, instead of Jux be like, oh yeah, they're going to nerf Umbrites, so like now you have to get twice as many Umbrites.
Yeah.
So I'll just be twice as not willing to do it.
No, each upgrade, therefore, is twice as good as the last one. So instead of just going up 5 item levels, then it goes up 10. Then it goes up 15. Make it super, super strong in the end stages, so you want to stay up to date on it.
Right, but then they put a jumping potion at the end of it.
Fuck you!
But it's super expensive. Like, they're going to turn pay to win. Like, you're really going to pay out the nose if you want to win.
No pores allowed.
You want that weapon? It's time to chew ass.
I don't think that was on this show.
There wasn't.
There was no continuity here.
Whoops.
You are terrible at this.
Well, it's all going to be on the same stream soon anyway. The new Diadem secret dungeon will have different mechanics from 24-man raids, parties splitting up and going different routes to open new progression paths.
That's exciting.
This is away from that.
Hang on, this is a lot of what we had kind of theorized before we got Crystal Tower, and when we were first seeing some of the original screens from Crystal Tower. And I think this is cool because it does put the onus on a party that is disconnected from yours to be able to allow progression for the entire raid. I like this idea. I like the idea of splitting parties off, and I think we got a sense of that in the trailer when we saw, scenes from the new Diadem where we see a party fighting one of those big stringy lions, and then another one fighting it down the down the field.
I'm gonna say don't get your hopes up too much, because the way that I read that, and granted this is just a note, so it could very well, but I read it as being that the new Diadem secret dungeon will have different mechanics that they've taken from 24-man raids, and that your party, not necessarily 3 whole parties splitting up, but you might even just be like, all right, 4 people go this way, 3 of us will go this way.
I don't know, man.
That sounds cool, but I don't know how epic that's actually
seems a lot more coordination though than to just
basically it's
send
gonna
one
be
party
like
one
Labyrinth of
way.
Ancients.
I think it's easier to coordinate like within your like group of, let's say let's say you're going with 9 or 10 people, than it is to try and coordinate with like 3 entirely different parties.
Well, that's what I'm hoping that they're going to get more creative with it, knowing that there's going to be potentially more parties, more alliances in something like this and involved in something like this than is involved over in Crystal Tower. Now, I mean, not saying that what they've done with the Dunescaith raid or the Crystal Tower raid isn't creative, but I don't want to just see a bland repetition of those things played out on a grander scale or with more people.
I agree.
What I'd like to see is them get a little bit more inventive and creative with it and think outside the box about ways to make it more engaging.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
This was interesting. So feedback from Diadem will affect Eureka. They're just the same but different, and that's kind of what we were talking about. It's kind of feels like a beta test again. But
could you say they're different but the same as well?
Well, but here's the thing, though. Remember in the original pitch for Diadem, they said, sort of like with Palace of the Dead, we're going to be seeing this structure again, but it's not going to be called Diadem. So when they talked about Eureka, that's why I said, oh, that's the next Diadem, because they're going to be taking the same structure and migrating it over for this. And I see them doing that, because, if they were going to make something entirely new and unique for Eureka, that is a whole lot more development work than to take the structure that you've already got, if it's going well, if it's successful, and just sort of taking it and applying it over to new visuals, new zones, new objectives, things like that. So and they're big on that. You look at all of the dungeons. The dungeons are pretty much the same structure every single time. It's 3 bosses and then you're done, and it's fairly fucking linear. You don't get too many dungeons that deviate from that. They just present the same structure with different visuals, with different aesthetics. And I think that that's what we're going to be seeing from Diadem to Eureka. So that's the way that I saw it. But what's also interesting is that some of these other statements that we've gotten surrounding Eureka, that it's like a Sky or a Sea, going to take effort to be able to access it. To me, now that I see that that the two systems are connected, I think you're going to have to be able to hit some kind of achievement in the original Diadem if you want to go to Eureka.
I could see that, and for all the players out there who are excited for Eureka, make sure you're getting on and doing Diadem and giving some feedback. They're actively asking for it.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say if I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that if the new Diadem is successful and if it ends up being fun, that it will be because of much of the feedback that they received during Diadem 1.0 that will be responsible for making it fun.
So in other words, if Eureka works out good, it is because of us.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
You're welcome, Final Fantasy 14.
And again, in a roundabout way, that all comes back to me.
God damn it.
Oh my God.
To me.
Aniero, savior of Diadem.
That's right. I saved Diadem single-handedly.
And if Eureka turns out to be shit, whose fault is that?
That would be Skuro's. Because he's probably the only other bigger advocate for Diadem that I know of.
But when you think about it, it was my idea for Skuro to do work, but you wanted us to find more interns, and you were the impetus for this whole show, so really, it's your fault.
We have Skuro because of Aniero?
We do have Skuro because of Aniero.
No, I don't see it that way.
I'm sure you don't.
No, I don't, because it was never a part of my suggestion.
Do you think the word intern comes from the word internal?
No, it comes from internment.
Yeah.
Oh. Like the camp?
A little bit.
Yes, but Jesus.
I mean, we can make it a... Whoa.
Are your drops back up?
I wish I had that drop.
What?
What was that? Where did... Oh, did that come from... Okay, you can
stop that.
You can stop. You can anytime.
Don't make me drop this call, Nika.
Oh my God. Where did you get kazoo?
Is that what that is? I'm still over here completely aghast.
Yes, it is a kazoo.
We found Nika.
It would be the most magical of instruments.
We found Nika's Garlean character, guys.
This is my calling.
She's our herald.
A kazoo has found me.
She's the Garlean herald, and she plays the kazoo.
Wait, what do you mean her Garlean character? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
My immersion! Stop that now.
Okay, yeah, we can stop anytime.
Oh, I'm so happy right now.
All right.
Really? Because I want to go jump off a bridge.
That's why I'm happy.
I kind of want her to keep going now.
Kinda, yeah.
Do not encourage.
It'll be a surprise.
It's a double-edged sword, guys.
Let's not do that.
On one hand, Juxta jumps off a bridge. On the other hand, Nika plays the kazoo. Tough choices.
Yeah.
And lastly, new Lucis tools are achievement only because previous 2.x crafting difficulty to acquire them was too intensive.
Nobody gives a shit.
No one cares.
Sure, why not?
Literally no. I mean, they're glowy weapons. I guess that's kind of cool, but no.
It really isn't.
No.
If I cared about fishing anymore or still or at any point, I'd get the golden one, but I don't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was nice to look at, but yeah, who cares?
Was it really, though?
And that brings us out of the Game Watch, or the Famitsu.
Famitsu, yeah.
Famitsu.
And, of course, we saw this week that FF14 getting the 3.5 preliminary patch notes.
So this article starts, Patch 3.5 brings a multitude of additions and refinements to the realm of Eorzea. See what fate has in store for the reunited Scions, topple the final pillar of the warring triad Zervan, or investigate the abandoned refuge of Dunsky. Gear up in armor.
What did you just say? What did you just... Stop. What did you just say?
The abandoned refuge of Dunsky. Isn't that how you pronounce that?
Where did you get Dunsky?
I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. Dunsky. The ATH is silent.
Yes. Like how we are Dunsky with you. Get out of the fucking studio.
That was a good one, Nero.
It looks like Dunscaith to me.
It's not Dunscaith. It's Dunsky.
Dune Scythe.
Dune Scythe? You're out of your mind.
Dunsky.
Scythe?
Yeah.
How would you what
Is that the weapon that Aniero used?
What did Dark Knight what weapons did Dark Knight use in FF11?
Scythes?
No, Scythes.
Scythes?
Scythes?
There's not a Y in front of that. Though.
I think we
they use great swords, let's be honest.
I think we need to investigate this new Scythe software to see if we can improve Nika's call quality at all.
He called it Dunsky. How am I the one being ridiculed?
I thought it was pronounced Dunsky.
Dunsky?
No, sorry. Dawn Sky.
Dawn Sky?
Yeah, like the rising dawn sky.
So what, the TH is silent for you too?
Yeah, and the Y is hiding. It's like a ninja.
Well, the AI would make the Y sound.
No, that's also hidden.
So it's just
that's not a good ninja, by the way.
You've just got Donsk.
Can I use my mute juxta button, please?
No.
Thank
you. Have a mute. You have to pay money for that.
No, everyone gets one, remember?
Yeah.
Everybody has to pay money for
No, all the hosts get one.
Someone in the chat says it's pronounced didgeridoo, so we're gonna go with that.
Dong Sky, I like that one.
Dong Sky? All right.
I was gonna say, yeah, we have to at least try and make it into some type of penis reference.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Dong Sky is not a bad one.
Macaque right into Dong Sky. All right.
Dong Sky.
Dong Sky it is. Gear up in armor inspired by Garo to challenge your fellow adventurers in PvP. And if you've had trouble finding companions, fret no longer. The Party Finder can pair you with players anywhere in the same data center.
Scalia.
Did they just put in an obligatory promo for the Garo event? Like in the like right into the top of the patch notes?
They sure did.
That is, they're like, please do this. Like, please don't make us look as dumb as we did with the Yokai Watch. Just please.
Please do this one.
What was your
No, they didn't look dumb. Everyone else looked dumb because everyone else actually did it, with the exception of, I think, you and me. Did you do it?
Just for the daggers because I have a dagger collection.
It's too much. No.
I did it for the mount.
God.
It glows.
Yeah, your
jizz.
To be fair, I wasn't happy about it, and I complained about it every second.
That doesn't make it better. You were still doing it.
It really doesn't make it any better. Just so you know.
Your faces don't make me any better.
You guys don't have mounts like I do.
Shut up.
God.
Wait, is he unmuted already?
Yeah.
I was pretty sure.
Fine. There's $1. Mute him.
What the fuck?
Okay.
We just donated $1 to mute Juxta.
That's fine.
Outstanding.
You can't donate money to mute me and then not pay rent.
Here, can you pass that to Juxta?
Sure. There you go.
What the fuck is this?
Can you go ahead? I'm gonna unmute you to read that note.
It says, well, it's a smiley face with some headphones.
No, that's a rainbow.
Hashtag Dong Sky for the win.
Dong Sky. Yeah.
What does it say?
It says, Skyrise own Eon.
Turn it
on
the other way. Turn it the other upside down. You have it upside down.
Oh, it says Kylo's a dick.
No.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
No, that's not what it says.
Well, that is what it says. That's weird.
Yeah, see? There we go.
You fuckers. Says no one cares.
Red mages forever.
Bump it.
Wait. Oh, you're going red mage?
I am. You didn't know that?
What the fuck?
I'm switching to red mage next patch. Except unless the other job is Beastmaster.
Next patch, he said.
Yeah, next patch.
Juxta got really worked up when we were talking about red mage because we were calling them pussy mages. Because he got really bent out. He was like,
I don't like where this is going.
It can't happen like that. It has to happen naturally.
Yeah.
The nickname has to happen organically. You got it. So I am a little bit more partial to menstrual mages.
The menstrual mages?
Because you bitch so damn much.
That doesn't sound good either.
It has alliteration. You fuck yourself.
He can. It's that time of the month.
So, because we all know that red mages are the biggest divas, always. They're going to continue to be, of course.
This.
Of course, because Juxta's going to be playing it. So, yeah, I vote for menstrual mages.
I like it.
Ditto.
Why the fuck do you like it?
Oh, I'm used to being made fun of at this point. They can't say things that hurt me anymore unless when they talk about Dragoon Wyverns, but, you know.
Did you know that there's actually a Wyvern minion in the game?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I just learned
It's
that
been there for a while.
I just learned that a couple days ago.
We teased him a bunch about that. That definitely happened.
What?
We teased him a bunch about the Dragoon or the Wyvern minion.
Yeah, this happened when freaking Keeper of the Lake first came out.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
How are you just now finding out about this?
The minion?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The minion is Midgard Stormer.
No, the other
Not
minion.
that
There's
one.
an actual Wyvern minion.
Like the blue one.
Yeah, like the ones you talk to in Heaven's Ward.
Yeah. We made
Those
fun
also
of you
look
about
exactly like Midgard Stormer.
it. Yeah, no. We still made fun of you about it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's been made fun of.
I'm talking to Juxta.
Yeah.
I don't have that minion. That's weird.
Who's over there giving me the dumbfounded face?
It's because Nika's talking.
Oh, fair. All right. Let's talk about the. God
Nika,
damn it.
I just want you to know that is probably the best contribution you've ever made to the show.
You're welcome.
Since the
That's
beginning.
not a compliment. Not a compliment.
Let's talk about these patch 3.5 preliminary patch notes. So, of course, we don't get all of the details. We get a lot of question marks for quest names and stuff like that.
There's only five of them.
There's only five.
There's 5 of them.
What the hell? 5?
Why 5?
5 is very sparse.
That number is only after 4.
Aniero, do you take credit cards from you?
Bend over, Aniero. I got to swipe.
We actually do.
Yeah.
Wait, why are you bending over so Kyle can swipe a credit card through your ass?
Well,
why are you giving that out freely?
You didn't know that I have a credit card processing machine in my colon? That's a thing.
Come on, tail swipe, man.
Oh my God. Does that have a chip reader in it? What
It
the hell?
does, yeah.
No, you insert it. He's like, it doesn't have the chip reader yet. You gotta swipe.
Where do I put my
every
pin
time?
in?
You know when it would normally bong at you to take the card out, it just instead I fart and it just shoots your card back at you.
Jesus Christ.
Is this real shit that guys come up with when they're by themselves? Like,
No,
we come up with this all the time. We don't have to be alone.
Is this your first time on this show, Nika?
Nika, guys work a lot like the Geth. The more of us there are around, the more genius our ideas are.
I'm sure.
I don't understand that reference. New Chronicles of the New Era have been added, which of course is the Dune-Sky, what? Dong Sky. You can unlock that at Sea of Clouds, I guess.
Got to go talk to Stasia.
Yay.
Yeah,
that asshole.
Exciting.
Guess. And we get the conclusion of the Warring Triad. Again, only 2 quests there. That's interesting. That seems...
That does seem weird. I thought there'd be more on the last.
One quest for the end.
Yeah, you thought there'd be more on the last one.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that it does feel like we had talked about this last time, that the story of the Warring Triad does seem like it's going to play some kind of impact moving into Stormblood.
Right. How would it not?
Yeah. Right. So.
But if you look back up at the MSQ quests, none of them say the players must first complete the side quest titled blank or question marks.
No,
they're all just main scenario quests.
That I think is going to be a prerequisite for the next expansion. I think that's going to be a prerequisite for Stormblood, not for 3.5.
Right.
I don't think we would get any indication, and if there was any indication of that, it would have been scrubbed out in the prelim notes. Definitely, it would have been question marked for sure. So yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit more out of that, just because I feel like there's some more being set up there. But they can get it all done in one cutscene if they wanted to.
That is the thing. Like, we don't know how long each of these quests are.
Exactly.
Okay, but how annoying is it that Square Enix just shoves all of the lore and all of the information in the very last leg of the whatever.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way with
know,
Alexander.
but I don't know that it's... Well, yes, you're right. The story did feel very unbalanced and weighted towards the end with Alexander. And it has the possibility of repeating that same shortfall here. But I think that if the intent is to be continuing... Like, there's going to be a continuation moving on into Stormblood, then I look at that as another setup, not necessarily a payoff.
Yeah, I'd like to see not a ton wrap up in this. I want to say, okay, we've defeated everyone. Let's find out what happens to Oz's Law.
Right.
But I don't want all the answers at the end of this. I want to see more of this continue.
I agree.
No?
Because I feel like we've gotten nothing so far. I need a payoff. But then going forward, they do definitely have to fix the way that they do their storytelling.
Oh, they've already said that for 4.0, they're going to be readjusting the way that that's presented.
Stop needing on low-level gear for company seals when new players need it more.
No!
No,
Yeah,
I'm going to keep doing that. Seals are great.
I love seals. I need it for my Umbrite.
Well, and you can use it and buy more things to pay your retainers with.
I like that somebody just paid us $5 to make a request for you guys to stop being dicks when you play this game. I'm just saying.
Their name was Please, too.
I know.
Yeah.
And we're just like, fuck you.
They're very polite.
Okay, well, you know what? You get to pay me more than $5 to not be a dick.
I know.
We don't know what the number is.
You know what the saddest thing about...
It's not whatever we pay you, because...
Yeah.
You definitely come in here and be a dick every weekend.
The saddest thing about Stormblood is that the dick ninjas are going to die.
Yes, and be replaced by the menstrual mages. It's fine.
But then I'm by my... That means
you could be a red mage,
no,
too.
that means I have to fly solo. I'm now the solo dick.
We could be the triple...
Nope.
We can be the Crimson Tide trio.
Oh! No! No.
Absolutely.
Didn't even think about the Crimson
Nika, how do you feel about this? You and like Ascalia were like bros or sisters.
Well, we're still Nicalia. I wasn't like a paladin.
No. Juxta doesn't share. You are his now. You are his now.
He's going to stop calling me daddy now.
That'll never happen.
Yes. No, it's got to be focused on Ascalia now.
So you've got to pick one or the other.
Yeah. You can't have both. You can't have both.
Daddy is pleasure.
Nope.
Ascalia will be work.
No.
That's sister. Sister Ascalia.
Yeah, I'm business. He's pleasure.
Ascalia.
Okay, for starters, if this red mage thing happens, then he's whatever I want him to be.
I'm business. He's pleasure.
Yeah.
No, it's going to get shut down over here.
Does that mean that I have to team up with Nika?
I've got kazoos. You want me?
No, I really don't.
There will never be a day where Nika and Callow team up. We saw how that went with the bet.
I don't know. I think Kahlo and I could be a pretty good team up.
Nika, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but you don't have to lie.
Yeah,
I don't know. Haven't we done a reset stream or something together, just the two of us? I feel like we've done one stream together.
I'm pretty sure last week when I was feeling like super shitty and really did not want to stream, I'm like, hey Nika, are you raiding tonight? Yeah, of course. How do you feel about streaming? No.
There was a reason I didn't want to stream though.
Thanks.
Like also my RAM hasn't been put like it is now, but there was something else that I didn't want to stream for a certain reason.
Well,
I can't
guess
remember
what?
it was.
Dibs on this week. I don't want you to stream with me.
Good. I don't want you to stream ever.
See, this is why we can't team up.
Wow, that burned down.
See,
real
I'm
quick.
telling you, like this team up is never happening.
Yeah.
Never.
Going back and looking at the preliminary patch notes, new side story quests have been added for the Scholasticate. Now, I just want to point out
that nobody likes this.
There are 4 quests associated with the Scholasticate.
There are 5 MSQ and 6 Scholasticate / Hildebrand.
Yep. Sit with that for a minute.
Okay, well, this is ending Scholasticate and Hildebrand.
Again, on 2 quests.
But apparently ending the Warring Triad gives us 2, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's...
Right.
Stop putting so much effort into the side quests that no one does, Square Enix.
People do Hildebrand. Scholasticate...
Not as many people that do the MSQ, though.
All right, but to be fair, they don't put any effort into Hildebrand.
Hildebrand's...
Okay, the last set of Hildebrand quests are really funny.
Hildebrand's reputation has taken a nosedive in Heaven's Word.
Really
I sort of feel bad asking for him to come back.
You know why? You know why Hildebrand sucks so much now? He's not inquiring about anything.
Yeah, he's trying to be a dad. It's that weird 7th season of the sitcom where now they have kids, and the show's all about the kids. Everyone's like, I miss.
And if you
I
look
miss
at
when
it,
was
though, the original Hildebrand had 3 trials associated. We got both Gilgameshes and we got Ultros. We've gotten nothing but funny cutscenes.
Yeah,
we
I agree.
We actually talked about this last week, Nika. So had you been here or bothered to, listen to the episode, you'd know that.
How was MagFest, by the way?
Amazing as always.
That's good.
And y'all should seriously come sometime.
How
'cause
much
you would
to
love
mute
it.
Nika?
What? You got you know you would have a great.
How
time
are you having all this money? You still haven't paid rent.
You've all
What the fuck?
You've also noticed I actually haven't paid anything yet.
Yeah, I haven't actually accepted the money. I just
Hashtag thief 5030. Check it.
What?
Anyway, I was gonna say. I don't know
Penis?
what I was gonna say, but
Penis.
thank you for that contribution.
That's your penis.
Your drops still don't work.
Or cock.
Wow.
This is the best episode ever. I'm so happy right now.
New anima quests have been added, and there are 3 of those.
Holy shit, hold on. Pause, back up. The first quest for Hildebrand is called The Proud and the Pointy-Eyed.
Whoa!
Holy racist, Square Enix.
Oh my god.
That is pretty racist.
That's a bit racist.
A little bit.
But
they're proud.
who else is pointy-eyed?
Mistranslation.
There's got to be someone else that actually has like legit pointy eyes.
Like they just have
That's gotta
spikes
be what
coming
it's
out of their
talking
eye
about.
sockets.
This
God,
kind of
it's gotta
bigoted and transphobic hate speech isn't gonna fly, bro.
Stop it, all of you.
It's spreading.
It's great.
Anyway,
my legs.
I might even
so
kiss a
unnecessary.
dude.
That was so unnecessary.
He's making a gay Terminator.
3 new anima quests are added, and we also are going to be receiving 4 Beast Tribe quests. 4.
Jesus.
4.
Well, yeah, these are the ones that are combining them all together.
4.
But when we only get 5 MSQ,
I'm just saying.
The MSQ are coming. Please look forward
This
to
all
it.
counts as part of the MSQ because if you play it all, you get the grand overall story of the entire game.
you want to
So
know
if you don't
why
do every quest, you don't get the full story, so they all count.
there's a reason that they are putting less and less effort into the MSQ, because come next expansion, everybody's going to be skipping them with jump potions anyhow.
Oh.
No, stop that.
That leaves a
Stop that
nasty
now.
taste in my mouth.
Yeah. Not the first time that's happened to you, though, is it?
Like my semen.
Since college.
New side story quests have been added, including the unlock quest for Sohm All Hard, as well as the Summoner Eggies, and this other one. I don't know what this one.
Fiery
Wings,
wings,
fiery-
fiery hearts.
Fiery
farts.
This is going to be for the new mount for having all the bird mounts.
There you go. That makes
Oh.
sense. That makes sense.
Do you think the bird will fart?
Fates have been adjusted as in the following ways. The rate at which the following fates appear have been increased. Steel Rain, Behold Now Behemoth, Long Live the Coral, and Prey Online, which I'm pretty sure... pretty funny. I'm pretty sure that those are just all of the roaming primals.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Prey Online's time limit has been changed from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. The location of It's Not Lupus has been adjusted, and Acuben's HP has been lowered.
Is that the big crab?
Cancer.
Yeah, the one called Cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And the location of One Prince has been adjusted.
Which one?
Well, which one?
That one.
Where'd he go to?
Just one of them.
Just
What about the other ones?
he went to Safenimad.
What about the other ones?
Safenimad?
Safenimad.
Safenimad.
Yeah.
What are the side effects of Safenimad?
Well, we heard that you're gay. I may even kiss a dude. I'm coming. There you go, Juxta.
Well, we heard that you're gay.
Where did Robbie Bobby come from? Because I love this guy.
I don't know, but
lick my balls.
This episode is like specifically brought to you by Robbie Bobby.
Am I the only one that thinks that Nika is Lana and Callow is Archer?
Yes.
How is there not a fanfic with this theme?
oh my god.
Damn it.
That's gonna
Oh,
happen.
God.
So
I thought that we agreed that Kahlo was the bride, the anime bride, and I was Krieger.
Yeah,
That was a
we
fan
definitely
art that
did.
somebody made, but
Yeah,
we
exactly.
didn't agree to
Well,
nothing.
no, we made that canon.
Yeah, it's
I
canon.
have
That's
a puppet.
100% canon.
There's a picture of it.
Yeah.
Robbie Bobby just paid $5 to change that canon.
That definitely is not how that
Changed.
works.
Changed.
Not how that works
And
at
that
all.
was also 0.
Anyway, treasure hunts are going to be adjusted in the following way. Additions and adjustments have been made to rewards. New items can be earned as rewards, and the drop rate has been increased for certain rewards.
In the Aquapolis.
In the Aquapolis.
Aquapolis.
Guapowis.
Additions have been made to the rewards obtainable from what is it? Archeoskin, Archeoskin, Wyvern Skin, and Dragon Skin treasure maps.
No comments on the foreskin maps.
Can we skip over this next part?
Ooh!
No.
The excitement in his voice.
No.
Now, we talked about this last week.
The Paisa mansion wall has been added.
We're actually okay if you change your house to a Paisa.
No.
Yeah,
That's not the worst.
No.
Yes, it was.
That's fine.
I listened to it.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do it.
Yeah.
But
Fine.
it's expensive.
If he does that, then the only song that's allowed to be played in the estate is the Papaya song.
That's fine.
I'm okay with all of this.
Yeah.
You can
we're gonna live up
change
to who
the
we are.
music. You have that power.
I was hoping that it would dissuade you from changing our house to a giant Paisa.
Why would that dissuade me?
Not you, them.
Oh.
The UI window to exchange seals for items has been adjusted in the Grand Company Seal Exchange NPC. The following additions have been made to Adventurer Squadrons. Squadron attribute section of the Adventurer Squadrons menu now displays the maximum limit for the value of a squadron at the player's rank.
I completely forgot that this is a thing.
That's because it doesn't actually give you shit. Like,
I know,
any of the cool bonuses that it gives you doesn't stack with anything, so what's the point?
Right, I got mine high enough to get my promotion, and I don't think I touched it since.
Yeah.
Yep, I maxed all mine out at level 50 and quit.
Pop-up help now displayed when a player hovers their cursor over classes and attributes in the Adventurer Squadrons menu.
Great.
It's been made easier if you see your squad to see if your squadron meets strength requirements by selecting the squadron missions. And players will now be able to turn off squadron status updates during cutscenes the same way that they can turn off system messages. The time limits for priority missions are now clearly displayed before beginning missions and after completing them, and the default cursor position has been changed from OK to cancel and yes to no. For the following confirmation changes,
Great.
if you're really curious about that, you can go read this yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
That's right. The following items can now be purchased from resident caretakers.
Forever friends.
It's
It's a picture of me and Carlo.
It's not.
Nope, it's you and Escalia now.
No,
we're no longer a thing. You're leaving me to become a red mage. The Dick Ninja brothers are done. I am the solo Dick Ninja now.
Wow, he's disowning you.
Damn, that's cold.
It's the dawn of a new age.
And the outdoor furnishing for Moongrass plot can be purchased from the OIC quartermaster in each of the grand companies. There's going to be some housing adjustments. Players that have made apartments, or the adjustments have been made to apartments as follows. Players can now suggest the go to your own apartment option when they are in other apartment.
Okay,
that
great.
Seems really like an oversight that was not there.
Yeah.
Delivery Moogles can now be found in apartment lobbies. Picture frames, which will allow you to hang up paintings, have been added. Picture frames can be used to hang up paintings. There are 3 sizes of frame, which can be all hung up in free company estates, private estates, and apartments. There will be no restriction on the number of frames that you can use in one estate.
Can we go to our resident decorator for his thoughts on that?
Hopefully there is a picture of boobs I can hang up.
Are we going to have boob pictures everywhere?
Do you not?
Well, for obtaining the paintings, players can purchase paintings from the Joyous Painter NPC in Idleshire.
Who looks very not joyous.
He really,
That guy looks miserable.
That guy is on so much Prozac.
That's the saddest painter I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God! What the hell?
He is one step away from painting happy little trees with his wrists.
Oh, jeez.
Players can now are now able to sell and purchase paintings on the market board. Players can check what paintings they have up for sale in the painting section of the housing category. Let's see. Players can view paintings before they purchase them by selecting the preview subcommand after selecting the painting name. Paintings can be previewed in the following menus: shops, market boards, items linked through the log window, and inventory. So it'll show up like most other linked items. New furnishings have been added, as well as new harvestable crops have been added. Let's see. The following items that allow for players to employ material suppliers, junk mongers, and armor menders with new appearances have been added.
Yes.
All right.
Now we can change how our slaves look.
Aren't they just all Anieros right now?
No, those are retainers. Those are outside. These are the guys inside.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are you going to make them all Anieros as well?
I could.
Oh
my God. A room filled with Anieros.
Oh my God! Yes. Someone walks down.
Call it the Daddy Factory.
The Daddy Closet.
To help facilitate the remodeling of estates and apartments, the following NPCs now sell estate-related items. And there's a whole bunch of different NPCs. If you're curious about that, you can find that at the Lodestone. New aquarium fishes have been added.
Look at the size of that fish.
Look at its retarded forehead.
Talk about backseat fishing.
What the fuck was that,
What?
Nika?
It's an FF15 joke, God.
Oh my gosh.
I had to.
That fish looks so dumb.
It does.
That's a fish in real life.
I know it is.
That looks like a fish that was out in the ocean and made the decision to to just run up on land, swim up as far on land as possible, and wait for someone to pick it up and put it in a goddamn fish tank.
Really? Because I think it looks a lot like Juxta.
I was going to say, so we can call that Fishcalia?
Fish scalia? I don't know. If you found a two-headed fish, maybe.
The clever name, I think, is what cemented that one. So,
Daddy thinks I'm clever.
Adjustments have been made to triple triad tournaments.
There's a lot here, though.
There's a
triple triad.
There's a shitload.
New cards.
If you care.
No cheating allowed now.
If you care, you can head on over to the Lodestone.
I don't think they've really killed.
No, I think the biggest thing out of here is they've lowered the number of matches you have to play for the tournaments down to 20 for all of them. There was one
every
where
tournament is 20. Yeah.
One that was like 60. You had to play 60 fucking matches.
What?
50.
Yep. I
Right.
think that's why people kind of fell out of it, because after a while it just got
It's
really
too
repetitive.
much.
Yeah.
You can also, I think, only play in the battle hall now. They're like, people, use the battle halls.
Lick, lick, lick my balls. I'm sorry, but I can't hear you over the sound of my massive throbbing
It's all
erection.
drops, isn't it?
Sure
The
is.
first one I've gotten that didn't involve homeless people. Okay, I'm done interrupting the show, guys. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Robbie Bobby.
How do you guys memorize so many drops?
It really is pretty
It's
funny.
hilarious, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to talk about Triad because I like Triple Triad.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, all the other places on the board at least get you some kind of card now. They actually do, like
Aniero
special
left.
cards. And not only is there new cards added, but now the ones that you turned in for like 5
Okay,
points
that
now
makes you
give
really
a ton
yes,
more points.
that is a good one because
Yeah.
even the 1 stars are worth like what
100?
100 now. They used to be worth 5.
That's
And then
ridiculous.
the 5-star ones were worth 600, and now they're 1,500.
Yeah,
You get to that point
That's
where
a lot.
you go, like, anytime you get one out of a dungeon, it's not even worth it to go trade in your old one for the next time you go in.
yeah.
nice.
I might actually save up for like Cloud and Fenrir now.
And
Yeah.
the biggest
So
thing I'm
easily.
actually mad about, because I've actually gotten every NPC card that's possible to get at this point. They're fucking removing the random rule from NPCs. Now, I've got to say, there are some NPCs that are so difficult to complete because they're random. Random's among like 8 cards. Your random is amongst like 60 cards. So it's
I can
really
go get all the
impossible,
NPC
but they
cards
still
now.
get
Yeah.
5-star decks and you get 1-star decks. Not to mention the drop rate is so low on those cards. So if you do manage to win, the chances of getting the card are very low. And now they've completely removed it.
Nika,
Once
can
again,
you
the
do me a
strategy
favor?
of doing nothing pays off.
Can you do me a favor and play that really sad sound on your kazoo for yourself, please? That was terrible.
Sounds like someone let go of a balloon.
Okay, stop.
Oh my
stop,
God.
Stop.
Yeah, no, taking the random rule off NPCs is great.
But it makes me mad because I spent so many hours that are now wasted grinding those NPCs.
You know how Rangers felt.
Yeah.
There
you go.
11 joke.
Old. I know, but it's so old. Who gives a fuck about Rangers anymore?
So, we got some new shitty haircuts.
What?
What?
Oh, I like that first one.
No, of course you do.
Bangs are cute.
I'm not into either one of these.
Although, one thing that they added that I am excited about is now if you're going to change your hair, there's more of them on a single row, so you can see all of them at once. I wish they had actually given them names, so when you're like, all right, this one's cool, let me come back to it later, you're like, oh crap, which one was it? Because they all look the same. Anime haircuts.
Well, that's to go along with the new anime emotes that we've got as well.
You mean glasses adjusting?
Oh, I didn't see
sexy,
these.
Right?
Those are awesome.
I have no idea what that bottom one is supposed to be.
That's a dance.
What happens?
Some kind of dance.
What happens if you do that first one while you're not wearing glasses?
I don't know if it'll
scratching your nose.
But now you can be like, I've come up with a new recipe. Adjust glasses.
Oh, geez.
Is that what it's for? I like it.
New structures will be added to Idleshire, and
always my favorite thing.
It really is.
The last one was so good. That little garden that they have in the back of it now is so sweet.
Is this the last addition to Idleshire, or will there be one more?
They have the ability to add one last injection if they do it in the second part of 3.55 or 3.5. I just don't know if they're gonna end up doing that.
They will, but I hope they do.
I think this is the last one.
I wonder if the guy that's hanging from the scaffolding will finally be rescued or not.
Probably not. I hope not.
Better
Fuck
not.
that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
No, I hope there's a gravestone there now.
I was going to say, he was
about a
gone.
worker who was lost.
They actually moved him quite a bit away from where he was, so I had thought that he was rescued or that he fell, one of the two. But he didn't. He's still there.
Okay, well, you know what? He should stop fucking falling. It's his own goddamn fault. Fuck that guy.
Players can now change their Eggy's outward appearance.
There it is.
This is an insult to
only.
summoners. Summoners, you should be upset with this. I'm upset
Why?
for you. Because all this time and all you can do is change it to a carbuncle.
Okay, two things. One, they said they are going to be adding more later. This is just the beginning. And two, ever since
that's not an
Arkin turned into
excuse.
Summoner, people have been bitching that we couldn't get Carbuncle anymore. So
Okay,
now we can.
this right here, this change is the equivalent of Final Fantasy 15. They half-assed it. There should be tons more to this for as long as they've taken to do it.
Yeah, I mean...
We're not wrong, but they will add more later.
At least a white carbuncle and a black carbuncle.
Yeah, because the black one, they're both in the game with NPCs
Well,
already.
yeah, they added the 3 that already have modeling in the game for the pets.
At least,
red one.
No, the red one doesn't.
There isn't a red one?
No.
At this point, they could go wild and just give all kinds of cool glamour to them. Hell, give summoners a blue wyvern glamour for their eggies.
Yeah, totally.
New
There you go.
Would you level summoner then?
Summoner then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Escalia?
Escalia.
Do it.
No, fuck Summoner.
To ensure the execution of actions which require special status effects, the timing with which these status effects are applied or removed has been adjusted. In addition, we have made adjustments to prevent connectivity issues which resulted in mudras failing to activate.
Connectivity.
Okay, Scorer thinks I may be Rob from New York, and I want to assure you guys that I'm not. Though we do need to get him back on the show. Asha Radio re-robbed. Also, last interruption for serious now.
Oh my God.
It's only because he's running out of money. The last two have been $1.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Thank you, Robbie Bobby, for all of your donations today.
Do people still believe that Rob was a bit that we worked out for this show?
I think
Is that
so.
still,
Some
like,
people
what
do.
think?
Yeah.
They still think it was me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have to get him to call while Cal is here.
Yeah, he's done that.
That's happened.
It's still Cal.
New dungeons have been added. Baelsar's Wall and Som All Hard are both going to be added with this patch. New trials have been added for Zervan. Let's see what else we got here. I think the
Zervan Extreme.
Yeah, the Zervan screenshot looks pretty damn intimidating.
That's Zervan too. Holy crap.
Oh my God, the Extreme one is so different.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably like
I'm pretty
it's
sure
probably
it's
the final.
first phase and second.
Yeah, this is when he's like crawled up out of it. Yeah.
'Cause they showed some of this off during the Japanese Fan Fest, actually. A little bit of it.
Dong Skype is going to be added now.
Dong Skype, huh?
Dong Skype.
Dong Skype is going to be added, a new Alliance raid. You can unlock that in Sea of Clouds. Rewards, you can only receive one reward per week for completing duties in Dong Skype. In the event you are awarded with an item from the loot list, you relinquish your right to... Okay, it's basically...
Same thing as always, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Upon completing Dong Skype, players can now earn separate separate rewards once per week. This reward can be exchanged with Bertana in Idleshire for items used to enhance equipment purchased with Allegan Tomestones of Lore.
Okay, so you get an item to exchange for the item for the upgrades.
Macaque matter will not. It won't be obtainable in Weeping City of Macaque anymore. But now obtainable in Dong Skype.
So get the macaque stuff
The
from
koala
Dong
with.
Skype.
The drop rates for the Warning Lantern.
Warring.
Warring Lantern Whistle.
It is. What?
Warring.
Yeah,
Like Warring
yeah.
Triad, Warring.
Lantern Whistle, Dark Lantern Whistle, and Sophic Lantern Whistle have been increased. So drop rates for the...
Lannister whistles.
There you go. Players will now be able to receive the power of the Echo in all party members. When all party members are incapacitated during the following trials.
Sophia.
Yep.
Yep.
There you go. There's
like a bunch of like system side changes.
Well, yeah, they've with these kinds of patches, they've always got so much housekeeping stuff to do.
Yep. Closing down Diadem access.
I was worried that some of the achievements or titles would, basically just poof, be gone. But they are going to be coming back in the new Diadem, but obviously with different prerequisites or whatever. So, can still get Notorious Monster Slayer.
We're going to talk about the PvP adjustments here in just a second, but first I want to go to our phone lines. If you want to call Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. We've got Fusion X hanging on the line from Gamer Escape. He wants to talk about one of the bigger system side adjustments that I know that Kahlo is also sharing some excitement for. What's up, Fusion?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, welcome,
West
Fusion.
Coast represent.
You used to, were you part of Limit Break Radio back in the day?
I think that was Fusion Y.
So, Fusion, what got your attention from the 3.5 patch notes?
The hotbar configurations that we're getting.
That does seem to be a really big adjustment that is coming to the system side of FF14. So what about it is most exciting for you?
I think for anybody that's excited about it, it's people that have an MMO mouse, like the Razer Naga or the Logitech G600. Because right now I have the side of those mice, right? It's like a 3x4 thing with the buttons and stuff. And so I have my hotbar laid out like that in 3 sections. But to do that, I have to use 4 different hotbars.
Yeah.
But now I can just use 3, and that gives me an extra hotbar to do whatever. Because right now, the hotbars are limited into, you have 6 horizontal and 4 vertical, and that's it. You can't, change them into another shape or, make a vertical or horizontal bar.
Right.
Now you can make them into whatever the hell you want. And so that's going to be really cool for, screen real estate, overall, I think.
Okay, so Square Enix is just catering to the wealthy players who have cool mice, and me, who still has, a track mouse, ball mouse, I'm getting shit on, and I won't be able to buy a jumping potion later. This is bullshit.
Hang on. You have a trackball mouse?
Yeah, I gotta clean it every couple of days to get all the semen
How do you
hair
play
out.
with that?
This explains so much about the way that you play.
Whoa, what's wrong with it?
His keyboard is from 95 as well.
Yeah, that's my first keyboard I've ever owned. It's the one that works the best. All the other ones that I have that have glowy lights on it, those all break.
I'm sure it smells like the...
Dude, there are so many pubes in that thing. It's disgusting.
I'm sure it smells... It's got to smell like the floor of the worst movie theater that you've ever been in. Just the
Flint one.
We go to rave. Old food and just dried jizz, air dried jizz.
There's some fingernail clippings in there too.
Ugh. Gross.
I think there's a peel of of an orange in there.
I do think that this is going to be a pretty big change, and I'm actually kind of surprised to see this being implemented before going into 4.0. I thought that this would have been a change that we would have seen a little bit more in line with some of the bigger system side adjustments that Square Enix is looking to do with FF14 moving into 4.0. What do you think, Fusion?
Well, it could be prepped for that. But I think, too, I mentioned this is probably, good for like MMO mouse people, but at the same time, a lot of people will have, like a pop-up menu, like they'll make a macro to like show and hide bars and stuff. And so like I have that right now, but it's for a vertical bar. So I have to scroll like all the way up to get to stuff. And now I can just, kind of cram them all together and it's right there, which is really nice. But this is definitely, it's all prepped for 4.0. We know they're changing the battle system. We know they're changing a whole bunch of stuff with that. And so I think it'll be really good. I think the first thing I do when the patch drops is I'll probably redo my UI.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm looking to do too. I don't use the MMO mouse, and that's because I need 2 more buttons that I have, but for some reason don't work on my mouse. But what I like to do is set things up so like all the defensive cooldowns are in one area. All of my ninjutsu ones are in one area. Basically, kind of separate them by like category. Yeah, set up by category. But right now, since it's just a bunch of lines, they just all get jumbled up in there, and it's terrible.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
The problem is you need to use 1 million hotbars to do it.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if this will end up cutting down on the amount of hotbars that I'm clicking in between. One of the nice parts that I really liked about the Logitech, I think this is the G602 that I ended up picking up, was that 2 of the buttons are they kind of look like a forward and back navigation.
I think I have the same one as you.
Buttons on the top.
Oh my god, I do. We have the same one.
What?
I have that mouse.
You do?
I do.
You have a Naga Razor.
I have the Naga Razor, but that thing runs out of battery life so quick that I had to get a second one to use as well. And that's
why you buy one with a cord.
I know.
Seriously.
Yeah, come on.
Although I will give you that the battery life in the Logitech is fucking beastly.
Thank you.
I have a Logitech 1, and what is that like wheel thing on the top of your mouse?
God.
The scroll wheel.
That's a thing now?
It's for scrolling, so you don't have to press the little button, the little arrow on the screen.
Why would you?
Anyway,
you guys are fucking pampered.
Anyway, the way that I scroll through my hotbars, if I want to do, I've got the different combos that are set up on different ones. That if I want to change the combo, I just change the entire palette that's mapped to 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's terrible.
And it's not a bad. It's actually a pretty great way to do it. But I'm wondering if this is going to end up cutting down on that a whole lot. So
it could be, and and a lot of the thing too is you're so used to that changing it, it's going to feel weird, and you're going to feel like an idiot because you don't know where anything is. But play with it for a little bit and you'll be fine.
To be fair, now's the best time to do this because he hasn't played in like a year. So when he comes back, he's not going to remember where anything is anyhow.
Fusion X of Eighth Right Radio and Gamer Escape. You can check out their website over at gamerescape.com. Also, last week we ended up talking about the Lorecast episode that you guys did with Koji Fox, talking a lot about the lore book and the process of making the lore book. Really fascinating interview. I encourage everyone to go check it out. That's over at gamerescape.com. What else you guys got planned for the near future, Fusion?
Episode 100 next Saturday. The big 100.
Yeah, we know how that is.
Wow, that's an interesting trend that we've set. Having a
100th episode.
I'm sorry. I think PFA hit 100 before you guys did.
You know what? When it comes to stuff like this,
hit 100.
Well, that's because we're more about quality than quantity.
Oh, is that us?
Why do we have Fusion on then?
I don't know. Ask Kooky.
Why is Callow on? Why is Juxta on? I mean,
these are all fair questions because
this whole show is just one big contradiction.
At the end of the day, we all know we all have me to thank
Jesus
for
ramming us in the end.
For every time we sit down and do this show, every single week, that is all thanks to Aniero.
Kooky.
No. That's Aniero.
A lot of it's thanks to Kooky, though.
Kooky.
Anyway, Fusion, thanks, man, for calling in. We appreciate hearing from you, dude. Take it easy.
Yeah, thanks. You too.
All right, if you'd like to call Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. So I want to talk really quick about the PvP adjustments, because this is kind of a big deal, or at least a bigger deal than we've
gave it credit for.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about it when we first heard about this change, but I had kind of forgotten about it until we started looking at it in the patch notes. But we're going to be seeing a big change to the Wolves Den Feast and Fold, that all chat features will be disabled when participating in a PvP match. Due to this restriction being placed on the chat, a quick chat feature has been added, which will allow for communication between players. Quick chat will be added to the PvP tab of Actions and Traits menu. All messages will be displayed in the party chat using quick chat. So we've got maybe about like 24 different commands laid out for us here. And my question to you guys is, discounting even the conversation of whether or not taking away party chat was necessary, are Square Enix giving PvP players enough tools to be able to communicate with these commands?
If there's not a way for me to tell someone to go fuck their mother, I'm going to say no.
I mean, I looking at like how they did it in League, because it was a very similar thing. They when they added in chat restrictions and stuff like that, they also added in the ability to just like ping the map, and you had 4 different commands that you could ping. You could like, hey, danger right here, or follow me in here, assist me with this, or enemy is missing. Things like that.
But I mean, like,
and on 4 commands, you could say an awful lot, and very quickly too.
Yeah, but I don't think that there's any of that. These just seem like they're being thrown in there almost like emotes.
And what's really tough about this too is, unless you know which one you're looking for, like I never use the auto translate because it's so hard to like, where do I have to go? What am I looking for? Which category is it in? No, I don't think that just adding preordained chat commands is going to do a whole lot. Now, what
I mean, there's a lot of them, like attack healer or get medals. Like, those are simple commands that are part of the flow.
But there's no nuance, though. And I think that Gisela brings up a great point in the chat room. Now, pre-mades with Discord will be even easier. Like, they'll have an easier time communicating and subsequently winning in the long run. And, I mean, to me, that just, like, why would you take away such a fundamental part of the system, like the ability to communicate, and then replace it with, like, I mean, yeah, I get it that there's like,
okay, what exactly are communicating in a PvP match that isn't covered by these 24 commands?
I don't know. It bothers me a little bit because I really don't know what I'm doing a lot in PvP. So when I join a PvP, I'll say, "Hey guys, I'm new. Can you kind of tell me what our strategy is?" And they'll actually like spell it out for me. And now they have to just say, "I'm attacking the healer." Like, that's, like, they can't actually tell me what to do.
Yeah, okay. They can't be like, as a black mage, you should focus on interrupting with sleep.
What if you misclick a goddamn command? What if you put in the wrong command? There's nothing in there that says that my last command was a mistake.
If you say attacking tank and you meant to hit attacking healer like 5 times.
Yeah, but that's so... But when you could just type up really quick what to say is so much easier.
Exactly. That's fucking stupid.
What they should have done, instead of just being like, all right, we need to take away the tool that, haters are using to disrupt stuff, they should have just had extremely harsh penalties for people who were trash talking.
No.
Yeah, you report them enough because they can go back and look. It's not like they can hide the fact that they were trash talking, or you can't be like, everybody report him for trash talking when he wasn't.
No. And I just don't... There's too much moderation that goes into that. There's a human element involved in that is not involved when you just take away the
the trash talking really so bad that it outweighs like the good strategy that came from typing?
I don't think so. I personally, I don't think so.
I've done enough PvP when there was a whole burst of time where I was like, this is really fun, I'm going to do it. I never once experienced, one person yelled at me once for not knowing what to do, but that was my fault. I didn't actually experience trash talking, so I don't know how bad it actually was to warrant this.
Yeah.
I just think the argument that teams who are on Discord are going to have it even easier now. It's like, teams that are on Discord are already going to crush teams that aren't using Discord. That level of communication is already way better. This isn't going to change that dynamic that much.
I don't know, man. I think that you've still got a fighting chance if you're able to communicate, even if your communication is a little bit slower or hamstrung. But this, to me, that doesn't get the job done to be able to satisfyingly replace the chat feature.
Are you going to be typing in a PvP match during it?
While you're playing, that's not good.
No, that's terrible.
Well, definitely beforehand. You have like that minute or so before you even go out. Like, okay, here's your strategy.
Okay. I mean, there's a simple oversight of even something as simple as like, oops, ignored that last command. Like, there's so many other problems that end up happening with communication when you limit what you're able to put out there. I just think that this is a really, really bad replacement for the chat feature.
I agree.
And I don't think that the problem was bad enough to justify getting rid of the chat feature.
It wasn't. No, but
Get good, use Discord.
This is, in my opinion, these icons are all you ever need in a PvP match. Stopping healer. Okay, stopping healer. Attacking melee. Attack the melee.
I'm not saying that they're a bad addition. I think that they should have been added, but that the chat function should not have been subsequently taken away. Because if there is any nuanced command that you have to give that takes additional comprehension from your team, you are not able to do that with those 24 emotes. You just can't.
What is so nuanced that you need to physically type out?
I gave you the best example that I can come up with off the top of my head, which is that last command was a mistake.
Just click that new command 8 times.
No, that's called being obnoxious and actively hurting communication.
If you accidentally hit stopping
fucking stupid.
No, if you accidentally hit stopping healer, oops, I meant to say stopping tank is the very next thing you type, and you keep going. It's your next command.
Yeah.
People understand like, he's not stopping both the healer and the tank. So this is the division
for where the dumb half of the room begins.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's always easy to tell when
What the fuck are you talking about? Honestly, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, how is that any better? All that does is clutter the command, now the command chat.
But that's only in the situation where you botched your first command anyway.
Maybe you should get good.
Or just use Discord like a smart person.
How is it that
queue up randomly, you can't use Discord?
How is it that that everyone is supposed to just decide someone spamming a chat command means that, oops, ignore the last one? That doesn't necessarily, I mean, like, there's nothing intrinsic. Yeah, that just looks like you being a fucking dill hole. You don't even know, and they didn't even outline, like, if there's, like, a restriction on how often you can hit these. Like, if you can only hit a command once every 5 seconds or so,
that'd be stupid.
Now what do you do?
But that's stupid.
Yeah, but you...
Given the
fact, but it can also be seen as harassment if you spam a whole bunch, and it might completely ban you.
There you go! Nika sees the other side of the argument.
Attack the healer, attack the healer.
Say the whole thing is already stupid, so anything that you come up with, it's not really going to be like they should just kept the chat in, period.
Yeah. I mean, again, this was a fine feature to add if you weren't at the same time taking away the chat feature. That's the part to me that does active damage. So
yeah. The other thing that I'm excited for in the PvP though is that they have improved the incentive. All around, whether you're taking first, second, or third place, you're getting more seals from it, you're getting more XP from it, and they're also lowering the cost of old PvP glamour, I think.
Really?
I think so. I think that was said in there someplace. Although the new PvP stuff, some of that, like, man, that looks like Zord armor from, like, 90s Sentai.
No, and the thing is like, I think that there might be pieces that are cool, that look cool in glamour, but I just don't know if there's enough.
Is that a VR trooper that I see?
Oh man, that's my childhood right there. VR troopers.
The silver one looks like a Beetleborg.
Oh my god, he kind of does.
I like the paladin, the gold one. Actually, they're all fine.
The silver and the gold are the same.
Yeah, they are.
They're not.
Just different colors.
The pauldrons are different.
No, they're only
a little bit,
just
maybe.
Barely.
Juxta is right.
Just barely.
Juxta is always right.
No, shut the fuck up. You just defended PvP removing the chat feature. You shut the fuck up for life.
You can tell when he doesn't believe strongly in it because he gets louder.
Exactly.
Nice to quote the chat room. Like I didn't read that. Like
Yeah,
I
I
don't
thought you
have
did.
the fucking chat room in front of me.
Like the other thing is, Scully, is like if when
How
you steal from the chat room,
how is it that they get progressively dumber every episode?
you need to give credit where credit is due, because every single person watching is also reading the chat room. So no one's gonna think, oh, that was really good insight from Escalia. They're just gonna think he was trying to pass that off as his own.
I just want to mention when I knowingly steal a joke, I always try to credit where I had originally heard that
I do
joke.
too, and for this exact reason. Because
Yes.
whenever I try to do that, I'm like, if I don't say so and so said it, Aniero's gonna call me out on it.
Exactly. Nice job, you dumb fucking
You
idiot.
know what? It makes sense, okay? They're the menstrual mages now.
Yes.
Hold
You know,
on.
oh,
It's that time of the month.
They're syncing up their cycles.
He's doing good at changing the subject.
Yeah, he is doing a good job, but I'm going to discount that because I steal jokes all the time from the chat, and nobody calls me out on that.
Well, we kind of expect it from you.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's
And
a
plus,
difference there.
The podcast listeners aren't going to be reading the chat.
Absolutely they are.
All right, so
they're contributing to it.
So podcast listeners, whenever you guys listen and Juxta tells a joke, he stole it. Don't give him any credit for anything.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
There have been adjustments to the spectator mode for custom matches. You can check that out over at the Lodestone if you really want. Also, adjustments made to duels.
FF14 PvP is bad and you should feel bad.
That's fair.
Okay.
But you need to do it for the glams.
You do.
Bad compared to what? Exactly.
Getting your dick shoved into vice and slowly crunching it.
It's worse than
That's
that.
better than PvP.
That's objectively not true. I've played plenty of MMOs
I've
that
had that
have worse
happen before.
He's
PvP.
like, yeah, I've had my cock viced. It's pretty bad.
No, I've played tons of MMOs with worse PvP than FF14.
FF11, anyone?
Oh, God.
That's generally the first one that jumps to mind.
The worst PvP.
Absolutely, hands down. Hands down. Adjustments have been made to Chocobo companions. Again, if you want to check that out.
And finally,
yeah, it's
basically they work like fairies now, and you can have them out whenever you want them out.
Yeah,
Yes, they're pets.
it should have been that way.
Not party members.
Should have been that way the entire time.
A change
It should
3
have
years
been.
in the making.
The only downside now, though, is that you can't get a light party bonus when you're solo with one out. But it's a
Wow. Wow.
I mean, it's cool. You get stat bonuses, and so if you're like soloing things that are higher,
I will, honest to God, gladly trade that. That's a fair trade-off.
yeah, it's a fair trade for what we get.
100%. Yeah. New items have been added. Of course, we get the Metal Gear Solid sort of looking gear, as well as the Dong Skype gear, which I still think looks terrible. It really does. Yeah.
But at least white mages get a black robe instead of a white robe.
The use of that deep plum on the armor is just, I mean,
I don't know. I kind of. It's not quite purple. It's reddish maroon. I kind of like.
Shut
it 'cause
up,
it's
Nika.
different. No, it's a little bit different.
No, it's not. It is the exact same thing that we got from Voidark and Macaque.
No,
Yes, it
Voidark
is.
was more of an actual purple. This is more of a maroon.
Can I use Nika's mute juxta on Nika?
No, because I want to yell at her for this.
You can still yell at her. She just can't say anything
this is
back.
What do you mean? This is the most purpley purple. It's like a deep.
That's not a purple. It's a maroon.
That is a purple. That's a.
No way.
It's a
Purple.
Purple bordering on plum.
No, that's silver. Silver and black.
I wish I could see purple.
I can mute him. I'm
thank
using
you.
my mutability.
I'm not wrong. There's that guy in the center has the silver.
I don't care if you're wrong or not. You're still going.
Yeah, there are 2 people with silver, and then 3 people with silver, and 4
Okay,
people
yeah.
with
Now Nika gets it because she's defending Juxta for that shit. Now Nika gets it. God damn.
You know, you might as well go the extra mile and preemptively get a Scalia, and we'll just carry this fucking show.
It doesn't matter. I can't see purple anyway.
How about I do this? How about I just mute everyone except me, because we all know that this show is 100% me anyway. So I'll just carry the rest of it.
Okay, so my bad opinions are yours as well?
No.
You said it's 100%. 100% of the show is yours.
I am
my bad jokes.
I'm responsible for facilitating this entire debacle.
Facilitate.
Wow, Juxta's cracking up at his own joke.
It's because I'm so funny.
No, you're not. You're absolutely not. It's getting a little lonely.
Oh, is it? How about that?
God
you
damn
mute
it.
her again.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I so regret unmuting Nika right now.
You're welcome.
There's been a bunch of adjustments to crafting recipes.
Yay!
Items. There's a whole bunch of items that can be now crafted without specialization. I really want to see what Square Enix ends up doing with crafting moving into 4.0, because the whole concept of specialization, I think, really flopped hard with this expansion. So I'm really curious to see what they think they can do to try to pull crafting out of the tailspin that it's in.
God, it's like until crafting can affect the economy, and I think until crafting can affect the economy in a way that doesn't only further affect crafting,
right?
Like, what could they possibly do?
Yeah, I honestly do feel like that's a big part of the problem.
Just delete crafting from the game.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be a positive change.
The following items that can be obtained from Alexander Savage can now be dyed. Now,
thank fucking God. This is the stupidest thing that they didn't put in. They're like, no, we kind of sort of changed the model actually like a tiny little bit to make it a little more unique. But you can't dye it.
But you can't dye it. That was weird.
Okay,
like,
well, now
could you dye? Dumbest idea.
Could you dye the normal version ones?
No, but so basically the way that every raid normally is you cannot dye the normal ones, and then the Savage one is the same model but dyeable.
So
this time around, they're like, well, we kind of changed like the pauldrons like a little bit, so it's actually a unique model, so no dyeing allowed.
But the normal versions, did the normal versions of gear from Alexander, do they get upgraded? I can't remember.
No,
they don't.
No.
Okay. It would be nice though if they, since they are slightly adjusting the models, that if that gear had an option to be upgraded, or at least an option to unlock the dyeable quality on it, because the slight way that they change it may not be, as appealing. It may not.
True.
It may not be as appealing to your glamour set. So
conducive.
I like the fact that it's a good change, but I do sort of feel like there should be a little bit of extra legwork involved. Like
a little bit of effort.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. There's a whole bunch of more crafting stuff.
Good.
Can we skip it?
A whole bunch more crap.
If you're into crafting stuff, go look it up. Oh my God, the new barding for the Warring Triad, that looks fucking cool.
It really
that looks so
does.
cool.
It really does.
Oh, they're making hunts relevant again with legendary clan mark logs.
Oh, really? Yeah. Outstanding.
Yep, cool, because they always add the upgradable stuff to both hunts and the 24 man at the same time, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, holy cow, I hadn't seen that chocobo barding.
It's so cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
It is very, very cool. We've also got the
chair mount.
Floating chair.
Floating chair.
Finally, the chair,
really
which
cool.
at FanFest they announced was going to be a Halloween thing, is now being added in January. All right.
They didn't say we're getting it for Halloween. They just said...
What they said was, in the past we got a flying broom, now we get a flying chair, but it doesn't actually mean it has to do with the Halloween, which is what we all kind of assumed. And then we're like, no.
Look at the little pupper pet. He's so cute.
The little bulldog.
Yeah.
No, he's so sad. Look at those sad eyes.
No, he's happy inside. Don't let him bamboozle you.
Oh, I just want to give him a hug. That spike necklace, though, that spike collar, that's going to hurt.
And we've also got an Estinian minion. Looks like that's what that is. Or just a dragoon. Either way, I think what would be hilarious
is if he
is if the minion had a little mini wyvern. Doesn't everyone think that they should do that?
What do you think, Escalia?
Everyone, stop picking on Escalia. He's had it rough so far.
Oh, now that you two are like brother and sister, you gotta defend him? Is that what this is?
You're forsaken me.
I didn't forsake you.
So
you left
so-called
me.
Blood brother.
You left me.
They are leaving.
No, you guys are the blood siblings.
Yep, there you go. Exactly.
I used to be something.
Do I need to get you a sanitary napkin?
No, you know what? I'm glad this has finally happened, because now I don't have to carry your ass around with my popularity.
That's what's up. There you go.
Do you
Independence,
know what a
right there.
Napkin is?
No, I don't think he does. I don't
like,
think he has
for
any
what?
idea. You're gonna leave a big stain on that chair when you leave.
I do every day.
Yeah, except this time it'll be red, not brown.
Or it'll be
white.
a mixture of the two.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway,
every color of the rainbow.
Anyway,
it's because of the acid.
Red, white, yellow.
Let's go back. Let's go back to our phone lines here real quick,
Purple.
and we're going to talk to Laro Felix, hanging out on Discord. What's up, Laro?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling Limit Break Radio. What's up?
All right, so before I forget, with the expansion, do you think, let's say after 4.0, they can start to try to make separate storylines like we had with 11, like Chains of Promathia, Oregon, instead of having this overarching story that people have to do to keep up with everything that's going on?
I mean, there was definitely like separating the narrative into 3 different parts. Like, are you talking about like separating them by city affiliation or something?
Like with Chains of Promathia, that was its own story.
Making the expansion story more modular.
I get it.
I hope not.
I hope not too.
Because that was one of the. In fact, in regards to the story jumping potion earlier, this is one of the things that we said was the strength of Final Fantasy XIV was how you go from expansion to expansion with like the same characters, and you're building upon those relationships over and over and over again. And as cool as new characters coming in, like Prish or Ulmia.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's cool. But being able to grow with the Scions from expansion to expansion,
and
like Yoshida that we know right now is a badass.
Right.
Remember how much Juxta used to hate Yoshida in 2.0?
Yeah.
Oh, he despised her so hard.
And that's one of the things that I think makes this game sort of intrinsically Final Fantasy. It feels like a Final Fantasy title because it's got that big, epic, overarching plot line that has spanned multiple expansions. Now, while Final Fantasy XI took a very different approach where you were thrown into a world that was far bigger than you, and that did have distinctly Final Fantasy qualities about it, but it deviated from that sort of like quintessential Final Fantasy element of like you're going to be taken on a ride and an arc of a story from beginning that has a very clear beginning, middle, and end.
Well, and
that FF11 was far more compartmentalized in the way that it presented its narratives,
and it created a kind of a difficult pill to swallow every time you'd go to a new place, and they'd be like, "Oh, who are you again?" And you're like, "I saved the world." Come on.
There was also this other thing that FF11 did, and I don't think that it did it very well, but they used a lot of those early missions that you were going on for a new expansion as a way to sort of pad out an update. And
yeah, they sure did.
And I mean, that's no more visible than the update structure surrounding Wings of the Goddess. Wings of the Goddess was probably the most guilty of pre-selling us on the idea or concept of content that was to come down the line. So, Laura, while I think that FF14, there are parts of the story or parts of the world that would feel more alive and more fleshed out because of a decision like that. At the same time, I think that you also do want to keep the essentially Final Fantasy quality of it as well.
However, I think there's a way for Laro and us to have our cake and eat it as well. If they're going to put so much effort into things like the Scholasticate and things like Hildebrand and these other side quests that actually have more missions than the main story quests themselves, all right? Get rid of the Scholasticate, get rid of Hildebrand if he's not going to be epic like he was in 2.0, and instead of giving us these little whimsical, cameo-driven side quests that nobody cares about, make them just as epic and just as compelling and narratively driven as what the MSQ is. Use those as your, other little deviations of the story. Introduce actual cool characters. Like, for example, Estinian's off on his own now, right? How cool would it be if he caught up with you when we go into Stormblood? For some reason, right? He stumbled across something and he needs your help again. Has nothing to do with the MSQ in any way, but now Estinian has his own side quest on the side going. That would be cool.
And in order to unlock those quests, you have to spend 2 Arma gems that you get from defeating Bus.
Oh my god. That's a World of Final Fantasy reference, Aniero.
No!
He is referencing World of Final Fantasy. Mute him.
God damn!
See,
he's running far more mutes today than he does on a normal basis.
I actually thought he was gonna add something really good and be like, in order to do that, you have to have played through, not skipped. Shut up, Heaven's Ward.
Yeah.
There's an incentive not to use story jump potions.
There you go.
Because it actually disallows you from activating side quests in the future?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That would be kind of you would kind of have to do a bit of cost-benefit analysis for that one.
Well, one thing 11, I guess the way the story was modular did have going for it, and one thing I think we're going to see in Stormblood is I think we're going to watch Ishgard become a ghost town. Once Stormblood has happened.
Of course.
But
it's the same thing that happened to Revenant's
They're going to
Toll.
add residential areas too.
Yeah.
They will, but exactly like in 14, we see these areas once the next expansion comes out, the prior expansion's areas become a ghost town. And I don't just mean like Revenant's Toll became a ghost town, but a Realm Reborn area still held, populace. The main cities were still good and still places to go to. But only because I think the whole of Ishgard.
Once Ottergon came out, Juno was a in the wind.
I mean, that's a pretty common trend that you have for MMOs, and especially with FF14, everything is presented as a instance. So you have no reason to actually go to any place in the world because you're just queuing into it anyway.
But the nice thing about, I guess, the way that it was designed in 11 was, if I go to Kazam, Yatunga, Yotor, there's still people there no matter what expansion we're on.
And that was the archaic way that game was designed. And I feel like, that's a frustration that players really just push through. And I don't know that modern MMO audiences, if you force them into that sort of play style, are going to end up responding to that. And I think that Square Enix has kind of pushed that idea again and again and again as they've continued to develop 14 and try to find a middle ground. Does it always work? No, it definitely doesn't always work. But I think they deserve a little bit of credit for at least trying.
It's just going to be weird in Stormblood when every Ishgardian area is empty.
Yeah. Laro, did you have another part of your question? It sounded like you were getting warmed up for another one.
Yeah, this is just 3.5 hype, so I'm excited for Anima because Anima's pretty much all that I do. I started working on the second one. I'm looking forward to Zervin. I'm hoping it's a lot harder than Sophia. I was reading I think it was the Famitsu interview that came out a couple days ago, and Yoshi was like, "Oh, it's harder than Sophia." So we'll see. I don't really trust Yoshi. Cross server party finder.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest
I'm
thing.
hyped for that.
Yeah,
when I was doing the merch line boss fight at FanFest, I met quite a few people. So we decided once Party Finder was out, we were gonna get together. So I think that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to.
Can I also say and commend Square Enix that within the same update that we're getting the cross server Party Finder, we can save people that we play with as friends, because I would have expected to get that at least 2 updates later.
Yeah, at least that this does feel like once we got it, it was fully fleshed out. Yeah, Laro prefectly bringing us into really kind of the last part that we're going to dive into with any kind of depth here on the 3.5 preliminary notes. By the way, again, if you want to check those out, you can find those at the Lodestone or at a link at our website, limitbreakradio.com. It'll go up with this episode. But yeah, let's spend a minute and talk about the cross-server Party Finder, because this does seem like the biggest systemic game changer that we have in the mix.
That we've seen, period.
Yeah.
I think in probably the whole of this expansion, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's definitely been a long time coming, and something that I understand the people who argue like this should have been in the game way earlier, but the fact that we're getting it, Nika, I wanted to ask you specifically, do you see this injecting much more enthusiasm or engagement into your Alexanders, your endgame raids?
Absolutely, 100%. Especially on servers like ours that are populated but not a lot of endgame interest. There's so many times where, like, if one person can't make a raid, we just cancel because we know we're going to sit around forever and not do anything because no one's going to join our party.
Right.
At least this way now we can, across the data center, look for people. And this also helps in certain situations too, where it's like, oh, I kind of want to switch servers so I can play with my other friend more, but you could still stay in a static with people because you can use passwords to, to make your statics. So, like, my friend was like, oh, I really am thinking about switching to, Balmung or whatever at Stormblood. Like, okay, do that, and you can still stay on our static. Usually when someone switches servers, they're like, oh, fuck, now we have to replace our static.
Nika, if they switch to Balmung, I'm going to expect you to blacklist them immediately.
I just picked Balmung out of a hat. Whatever.
Yeah.
But just in general, I think that there's so many ways that it's going to be beneficial, and I could see the crossover Party Finder being filled more with people trying to do endgame or looking for people to help with endgame or just looking for a replacement. There's going to be so much more life in it. Whereas like on Sargatanas, especially the endgame scene, like you've got your statics, but everybody else is pretty much either like, well, I'm not in a static, I don't have time to find a static, or they're just like, no one's going to teach me, so what's the point? And they don't even try.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the crossover party finder is only available for instanced type stuff. So if it comes to like, going out and like doing fates or,
no,
just
you
like
can't do that.
open world stuff. All right. So Eureka, for example, that's not an instance. That's going to be its actual own zone, right? So
I don't know how that's going to
be. Kind of lame that you can't team up with friends from different servers to do stuff within there as well.
That's actually kind of a good point, Kahlo, because at least in the old version of Diadem, you were being put into a zone that had a time restriction before it kicked you out.
Right.
And it had a player restriction for how many people could be in zone at once. And it sounds like the way that they're structuring the second Diadem without that party restriction and that you'll be able to select where you're... I mean, it sounded like you'd be able to select like a version of the instance to go into. And I don't know, like that to me says that is a persistent zone and a persistent area, and that probably would not be included under the crossover party
Diadem
finder.
will work because I think that's going to be instanced in the way that Dynamis was. Like Dynamis, you can only have so many people go in at a time, so in a way, it was a zone, but it was still instanced. But Eureka specifically, they're talking about that being a zone in Stormblood where you will go whenever you're going to upgrade your relic. Right, and there'll be other stuff in there to do as well. But that itself, that'll be a persistent zone. That'll be part of the world. And how do you team up with friends cross-server for something like that? I wonder why no one's asked up to this point.
I mean, still, even with the original Diadem, you did have to... Like, it wasn't a zone that you could just walk into.
True,
You still had to queue for it. Yeah. And as long as you have, I think, that as a part of the process, that you can apply... You can then apply it to
do you think Eureka is something that we'll be queuing into?
I always assumed so.
Yeah.
I mean, I see what you're saying because they do talk about it like it is more of a zone or an area. But I still think there will be a queue to go into it.
No,
like the whole game is built around queuing.
Like these interviews today have solidified, at least in my head, that Eureka is just Diadem by another name. That is it's going to be virtually the same system,
but different,
that we've got with Diadem. No, like virtually the same thing,
but different
for 4.0. What would make it different? Like I
don't know. That's just what they said.
They're quoting the article. It said it's the same but different.
That's their words.
But they haven't outlined the way in which it's different.
Right.
So that could mean 100 different things. From your objectives are named something different, or you just have a different set of objectives. But that in the end, the structure is remarkably similar or the same.
I see. All right, here's the reason why I don't think that it's going to be another Diadem, right? They want your anima or whatever the new relic is all going to be centered in Eureka. If it's just another Diadem where you have to go in with a party, how do you then progress your relic by yourself? That would turn that into needing a party in order to do it. And all the talk they've talked about Eureka and the role that it's going to play for the relic is that you can go in there and do all of your steps, as you see. I mean, there might be some that require a party, or having a party makes it go faster. But to limit you to having to go in there with a party,
but I think that you're kind of looking at it as intrinsically like, like the items that you're going to need are going to be dropping out of big NM confrontations or something like that. Like if you made whatever you need for your anima step, coming out of Eureka, and it was something that was very easy or done, it can be done solo, then that's a way to work around that. But I think at the same time, again, we're dissecting statements about Square Enix's intention and not necessarily about what the reality of the situation is when they go in and start organizing and implementing systems like this. So, again, I mean, that's a long way of saying, like, this is definitely all speculation on our part. But,
speculation off of fan translation.
Yeah, speculation driven by statements from the dev team as well as, translations of those statements.
Going
so
forward,
take it with a grain of salt.
Do you think at some point we'll get to a a stage where we will be able to party up with people, cross server at any point, and it doesn't have to be just an instant sting.
No. How would that work? I mean, that's basically making a shardless game, and that's a bigger adjustment than...
So you don't think the FF14 at any point will ever go shardless?
I don't see that.
No, I don't. You'd have to change so much to do that.
Yeah. There's so much about the organization, because then it's sort of like city zones end up becoming your hub world, and that's the only place that you end up really seeing other people. And then all of your, because this is the way that Guild Wars used to do it, is that all of the overworld was then instanced. So you can party with anyone from sort of any of the technically what people would think of as shards, but that it applies to so much of the overworld that it feels like that it feels like it's shardless. And I don't think that that's a great idea. I can't remember how Elder Scrolls Online had sort of organized that whole thing. I didn't give it enough time to really be able to investigate it. But
World of Warcraft did it very well, and the reason that they did it was because their world zone started to feel so empty. Because when it comes to worlds that doesn't have a lot of people on there, you go out and you could be playing for hours and never see a single soul.
Right.
And I don't know the technical stuff behind it, obviously, but the way that it works is that if there's under X amount of people in a zone, it basically merges a bunch of different people in the same whatever, so that you see other people from different servers.
All of that takes a whole lot of fucking work and adjustment, and I would much rather them spend time making more content as opposed to going back and reworking all of the existing shit
and merging servers.
And this is what scares me, though. They have triple the budget, but from what we've heard so far, it's going to be the same development cycle.
Yeah, but again, that's all kind of hearsay and conjecture. I mean, you keep bringing out the 3 times budget, and I know that they've trotted that out as well, but what does that actually mean at the end of the day? What is that going to actually mean? For all we know, that could end up just meaning bigger paychecks for the people making this game. We don't know.
Right, yeah.
You don't really know.
And we don't know when that triple paycheck came out.
You also just allocating more money does not ensure things move faster. It just doesn't. You can ensure that your people are paid better. You can ensure that there are more people on the staff. But if you add people to a creative endeavor like a video game staff, like, basically anything creative, there is going to be an adjustment period where that person has to get acclimated to the environment. It doesn't automatically, more investment does not automatically translate to more content. And I think that you guys really have to rethink your thinking about that. Because just having 3 times the budget is not an indication of anything. I think that it has the very real effect of setting our expectations higher. And I don't think Square Enix should have mentioned it.
Probably not. No.
Yeah,
it's probably a really stupid idea. All right, let's go back to our phone lines one last time. Again, shout out and thank you to Lauro for that call. We're going to go to first-time caller Thorlan of Diabolos. Thorlan, thanks for calling in.
No, thanks for you guys having me. I appreciate it.
So, what would you like to talk about?
For me, I think the most important thing coming up with the patch is the cross-party server. I think that's going to be huge for people like myself that I've been playing for about a year now, and I really, really wanted to get into raiding, but just with, I guess, the way people's mentality is, and I'm not on the biggest server, it's been almost impossible to get into raiding.
Right. Yeah. And I understand that that wall that you're hitting, man. I've rarely ever seeked out a raid group. I think most of the ones that I ever participated in, they found me and asked me to be a part of it.
Big mistake.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But I just, in my opinion, yeah, I do think that the cross server raid finder is going to be or Party Finder is going to be very helpful for all manner of content, but specifically, I think it's going to do the most for endgame rating.
It's also going to help to keep the servers in the game feeling more alive in lull patches. I mean, I've done a few resets in the past month, and like we'll do roulettes, but then when it comes to trying to do something that takes 6 people, even when you throw yourself up in the Party Finder, enough people don't really join, or as they join, they fall out before somebody else pops in. It's just not enough people.
Absolutely. Thornland, before we let you go, you got any shout-outs there from the land of Diabolos?
I'd say shout out to Rami Ray. She's been a long time FC leader of mine. She's very cool. She's probably the one that's actually kept me on Diablos, because with all, me wanting to raid and not able to, I've been dying to want to go to another server, but with this, hopefully this will keep me on Diablos and have me have fun with my friends instead of having to leave just because I really want to do raiding.
That's what's up. Thanks for the call, Thorland. We appreciate it. Again, calling Limit Break Radio, you can tune in every Sunday starting at 4 p.m. next week to join us live for the show. We take calls the entire time we're live on Skype. So we'd like to encourage you to join us and hang out each and every single Sunday. Again, reminding you next weekend starting at 4 p.m. here on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. There's a couple of other patch notes that are here that if you're really curious about them, you can go check those out again at the Lodestone or from a link at our website, limitbreakradio.com. But before we get out of here, I did want one of us to read a fan fiction.
I'm out.
Really?
No. Yeah. No.
What kind of fan fiction?
I don't want whichever one is on one of these that's written on the page. I'm really ambivalent to whichever one it is. But no, you can't leave. That's not allowed.
This is your department.
Oh, good. I can hardly contain my enthusiasm. All right. Any of them you said?
I hear that.
Read the one by Thor, so he'll leave me alone about it.
Yeah, and me. Thank you.
Have you guys read it yet? Have you read it yet? No.
Oh my God. It really, honestly, I almost feel like not reading it just to piss those people off, just to make them upset. Like, God, I gotta wait another week. Because once you get the payoff, you fucking tune out.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, see, at least Thor getting the payoff will probably just jerk off more.
That's okay. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I don't think we're gonna lose Thor. He's not going to get unengaged from the show.
Unless we ban him.
That's true. That's going to take active involvement on our part.
He's Irish. It's really hard to offend those guys.
You got it, bro?
I got it, yeah.
All right.
You good?
Do we have music for it?
This is Winter is Coming, a fan fiction by Thor Carson.
I'm coming! I'm coming!
Stop it.
'Twas the night before patch 3.5. Not a creature was stirring, not even a Lalafell.
This is really fitting because this will come out.
This is why he wanted it so bad today, I think.
On the day of 3.5.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, isn't that supposed to rhyme?
He's Irish.
Yeah, he didn't. He missed a line. The village was in low morale due to the mysterious hospitalization of the alcoholic machinist who had been missing since he accidentally wiped his static at 1% on normal Sophia, blaming the low battery life of his wired mouse for his lack of deeps. A single candle burned in the Dark Knight's dungeon with the meandering silhouette of smoke shimmering on the wall, where was hung a picture of a glorious sunset with a femro and a persona scissoring in the pale moonlight. The bearded clam jousting was a spectacle of beauty. In the distance, hearty male laughter was heard approaching the Dark Knight's lair. The voices became louder and nearer, and suddenly the door burst open as the Dark Knight and his ninja comrade drunkenly collapsed to the floor. They were moist from the inclement weather and naked from the game of Strip Triple Triad, and we all know what alcohol and horny adventures make an LBR after party. As the Dark Knight and the ninja playfully tickled each other's gooch... Jesus. The ninja whispered, "Does Daddy want to play?"
Oh, good. It's Juxta.
The Dark
Who
Knight's
else would it be?
The Dark Knight's flirtatious grin quickly turned into a stern, alluring stare. As he bit his lip, he began to quiver, and he felt his sword of 1,000 money shots unsheathed from its hibernating state.
How does the music know? How does the music know? God damn it.
Daddy needs to dance the Dark Knight. Or Daddy needs to dance the Dark Knight after a bit of carven spit.
The dark
whispered,
dance.
Dark dance.
The dark dance after a bit of carven spit, whispered the Dark Knight. With this statement of intent, the ninja arose from his fetal position, position with a capital P, and walked with purpose towards his armoire. He opened the door flirtatiously and closed it after a few seconds to reveal a furry garment, complete with tail and mask.
What?
This is perfect.
Why am I wearing a furry outfit?
Because Aniero hates furries.
He's already a cat, though.
It wasn't any old furry garment. It was the realm-famous furry subligar of dried man gravy of light within a dream, within a realm, within a dream. A wide grin came across the Xerox's face as he knew he was about to adorn this infamous garb momentarily. This aroused him immensely, as he had read about this garment in the Eorzean Encyclopedia, which he paid 5 times the value for, and also on a forum called Blueit, which coincidentally he was about to do also. It was going to be an honor for him to have his ring destroyed just like the ninja's previous lover, Frodo of the Shire. Kit brought the attire over to the Dark Knight and placed it lovingly on the bed as Xerox started to put on the majestic suit. Oh God, Nero's wearing it. Kit started to play with
I also learned I'm secretly a furry.
Kit started to play with his more than ample-sized dagger. Fire flew from his fingertips as he lubed up his weapon of ass destruction. His big black cock made an evil hiss as it grew bigger and bigger and became stronger, harder, and fiercer than ever before.
What is happening?
I have no idea.
There's a lot of Elbera jokes in here. Good
There
job.
sure are.
Yeah.
The imagery. Ugh.
At this point, he pushed the Dark Knight onto the bed and whispered menacingly in his ear, "It's my turn this time, Daddy, because the Woody Mender hasn't cast regen on my walnut yet." Oh my God! Oh,
Finish it.
Say it.
hasn't cast regen on my walnut yet from last time, and it would be like fucking a dying adventurer's handshake.
Wow.
The Dark Knight nodded in agreement. Kit pulled the costume tail to the side like a pair of edible panties bought from the local poop socker in the broom.
Did you almost vomit?
Yeah, a bit. I gagged a bit. Revealed was the Dark Knight's...
He knows what that smells like. That's the only reason he gagged.
College sucked, man. Revealed was the Dark Knight's chocobo whistle with the remnants of last night's limsa laminson curry encrusted to it.
Oh.
Ew.
Why are you sticking your dick in curry?
This didn't put Kit off. He was hungry, and Xerox was the main course. The ninja got down on his hands and knees and rimmed the hairy turd cutter.
Oh my God.
Good Jesus Christ.
Why do I have to keep going?
Yeah.
Xerox released moans of pleasure as his man slime dribbled down his sword into the Mihen Highway.
This is what you wanted! Are you not entertained, audience? Are you not entertained? You kept requesting this again and again and again.
We tried to warn you.
We tried to save you from this.
Kit arose from his position and climbed up upon the top of the Dark Knight. He didn't want to hurt Daddy too badly, so he cast Duality to increase the number of non-critical insertions.
This is I feel like this is too clever for Thor to have written himself. I'm sorry, Thor.
The only problem with this action was that he has forgotten to remove the /shout chat from his Duality macro, and he shouted at the top of his voice, "Duality is a type of gender fluidity." God Christ. With that, a dragoon... Oh, no. With that, a dragoon burst through the window, scattering debris everywhere. He had flown up to the Dark Knight's dungeon on his chocobo mount, which he had named Dragoon Pet, upon hearing the cry from the ninja's macro. "Remove your big black dick from Xerox's ring of fulfillment immediately," yelled the casual dragoon.
Why does he have a black dick?
Why? It's the microphone.
My fur is black.
With that threatening statement...
It's my microphone. That doesn't mean that he gets to attribute the black cock to fucking Juxta. That's not fair.
With that threatening statement, the ninja's toy turned to rage as he withdrew from the Dark Knight's bidirectional love wallet. He maneuvered his big black dick into the direction of the dragoon's lance, which clearly hadn't been used for months, even though he still paid the subscription for it.
I don't understand how the music knows.
I know. Kit charged into battle with furious rage and a +5 strength bonus from the vibrating materia, which he has strategically attached to his undercarriage. The warriors of light jousted and attacked each other weapons like a pair of enraged Ravanas. As the Dragoon and the Ninja climaxed simultaneously, shooting their man yogurt all over the room like Fan of Knives from a card game that nobody cared to mention. They heard a third moan coming from the direction of the other window near the door. The outline of a person could be seen within the curtain. The Dark Knight got up from his supine position and ambled awkwardly over to the curtain and drew it back sharply. A man holding a magnifying glass over his weapon, which had a few drips of yak's milk protruding from it, looked up, embarrassed. His weapon was a similar size of a baby chocobo's tongue. Who was this person? Why was he there? How could he possibly pleasure anyone with that? Of what significance was the painting of the clam jousting Femro other than to include her in the story and not make it too creepy? So many questions left unanswered. To be continued, if I haven't been banned from LBR for life. The end. Mercifully, the end.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I don't want to. I'm going to go buy a jump potion so I can get off this show. Bye.
Oh my god.
All right, that's gonna do it here, guys.
That's how I did it.
We've run the show a little bit over time, but we thank you guys for hanging out. Again, make sure that you come by next week at 4 p.m. We're going to be adjusting the start time of Limit Break Radio to 4 p.m. But if you want to be hanging out at 1 p.m. like you normally would, then head on over to, you'll be excited to know that Final Encountercast will be heading on over to twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio starting at 1. So
here.
If you want to join us for Final Encountercast, make sure that you come by the channel.
Don't use that word.
Starting at 1. Come.
Don't say come.
Come.
Don't. Phrasing.
Or cock.
Don't say moist or gristle or beef. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Make sure that you stay tuned. Coming up next over at Final Encountercast. For the last time, we'll be broadcasting at twitch.tv/Final Encountercast. We'd like you to join us. We're going to be talking all about the Nintendo Switch press conference that happened this week. And
now, is it true that was named after how easily Ascalia can swap his gender?
Yes. Why did you know that?
That was definitely...
Swing and a miss!
Yeah, I way to just take all of the air out of the room.
I did a juxta. Was that a kazoo?
That was my attempt at a kazoo. There we go.
Wow.
Mine was more of a tuba.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
A tuba suck.
That
was worse.
Great.
Anyway, so guys, thanks so much for joining us here at Limit Break Radio. LimitBreakRadio.com is the website. Guys, head on over. Subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a little bit of iTunes love. Let us know how we're doing, what you think of the show. And if you listen each and every single week, consider giving us a little bit of support over at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. I want to thank no one except for me, because I am the only one to thank for Limit Break Radio, because I am responsible for all of it.
Make it stop.
I want to thank my co-hosts for actually showing the fuck up today.
You suck at everything.
You suck at everything.
You suck at everything.
No, actually, you suck at everything. You can't even
suck at everything.
do the drops well. Where was it? I didn't hear a single drop this episode.
You suck at everything.
You're a failure. Objectively, if I was not here, this show would come unglued.
Do your job.
Do your job.
Come unglued. Come on.
See?
Well, we would have this. Nika, quit proving his point.
Do you see what I have to put up with?
Anyway,
big black
what you're
dick.
blessed to put up with.
Big black cock.
Apparently. Ugh. Anyway, all right, guys, that's going to do it here for Limit Break Radio. I want to thank all of you guys tuning in live right now at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio, all 214 of you hanging out. Stay tuned for Final Encountercast, twitch.tv/Final Encountercast. I want to thank my crew, of course, Kooky Persona, who's been hanging out and answering calls, getting them on the air, as well as Skuro, who will be responsible for making sure this episode goes to YouTube.
Tonight.
So if you have any problems, YouTube, with that, take it up with Skuro, not with me. And I, of course, want to thank my crew, of course, Juxtaposition, Ascalia Ryumasa, Kalo Landis, and Nika Kayanian. I'm Aniero. Keep listening. Limit Break Radio is a production of LimitBreakRadio.com and Bender Media Productions. This episode was produced by Aniero Grigori and nobody else. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. Funding for Limit Break Radio is provided by Miri Kennett, Satori Komeji, Dark Flux, Null Packet, Shira Hartslut, and fellow Limit Break Radio listeners. To support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. Opening music in this episode from Daniel Lambie. Listen to Man with the Machine Gun and other great tracks at facebook.com/Daniel Lambie Metal Gamer. Closing music in this episode provided by Husky by the Geek. Listen to this and other great Final Fantasy XIV and video game rock covers and original music at facebook.com/Husky by the Geek. In-game graphics for Limit Break Radio's Twitch stream are provided by Diamond Multimedia. Check out their line of AMD graphics cards and other hardware at diamondmm.com. Limit Break Radio and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.
Hey, fuck you!